Hi guys, hello and welcome back to Scarlet Fever TV on what is another very exciting evening. First home game of the season, and despite a lot of disappointment from last week and frustrations, the excitement has still bubbled back up this week, looking at the teams and what have you. I've got, as ever, my faithful co-host here, Chris. Nice to have you in again, Chris. How's your week been? How's your week been?
It's been alright, mate. Yeah, it's been alright. Yeah, a lot of rugby talk this week. Actually, now the season started, people are talking more rugby than they. So a lot of rugby talk this week, mate. Yeah.
It's been good. I mean, before we go into, we'll probably have a little rundown because we've got a bit of time before the game kicks off. But we're gonna have a little rundown because we've been so busy all week, both of us. We haven't had a chance to do not even 75% of the things we've got planned for our average week for Scarlet Fever TV, have we? There's so many segments we want to do as regulars, but early on it's just not been possible. And part of that is like obviously post-match reaction videos. But we've just been pressed really into doing like a quick post-match reaction straight after the game, and then it's been busy all week then, and we haven't been able to get back online. So we're gonna have a sort of like recap over our feelings about last week, and then we're gonna dive into the team. So obviously last week, there's been a few things that have kept me awake every night this week about that. Particularly scarred in there was some worrying signs there from my point of view, because I still stand, if anyone watched the commentary of what I described Edinburgh as about what I see when I see them play rugby, that still stands. They're not a great team. They don't play great rugby, so it's worrying that they cut us open like they did with minimal tools. They haven't got a big rugby armory, you know what I mean? They got one or two ways to play, and that's about it. And once you defend reasonably well against them, they run out of ideas. But we couldn't defend reasonably well against them. That was the problem. I said before the kick-off, and it might have been taken perhaps a bit as an insult from me, but I stand by it in that their backline is just a bunch of gym bunnies, right?
Bunnies.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that nastily. What I mean by that is that's all they've got is when they get the ball goes under the arm, and they go into the contact and they look to break the tackle or hit the gap and hit the weak tackle, right? And that's how they get behind you, and they've got very good runners with ball in hand. But when someone tackles them well behind the game line and they're struggling to find those gaps or break through the tackles, they run out of ideas because they haven't got the ability to play rugby and put each other into space and create space with the ball, right?
I agree.
And phase-wise, even that game, they didn't go through more than 3 phases all game, right? Honestly,
that's what I was just going to touch on myself now. I was going to say, Edinburgh are not a phase-play team.
No, they're not.
In attack in particular, like that whole game, I've watched bits of it back, right? They sort of maybe maxed at like 5 or 6 phases at once, attacking phases.
Yeah.
You know, when our defense held strong, they, 3, 4, 5 phases, they literally had run out of steam, run out of ideas, and made a mistake. It was a knock on, it was a forward pass, or they kick a ball away. So, I think the reason we lost last week clearly is because our defence wasn't quite where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I think you'll see evidence of that again tonight.
Yeah.
It's not something you can put right in the space of less than a week, really, is it? It's not.
Well, that's the worrying thing. That's the worrying thing.
Hopefully it's been worked on at least.
When you looked at how we were against Leicester, you'd have thought that as long as they take that performance from Leicester into Edinburgh, it should be enough. Because I don't rate Edinburgh above Leicester, especially with the start now that Leicester have had in the Premiership, So we've got a couple of posts in the chat. One from you, Chris. Welcome on in, guys. And as always, yes, a big Croeso, a big welcome, a big welcome. It's welcome tonight because it's South African, it's Afrikaans. So,
welcome.
Welcome. Okay. Ivan Davis says, big game tonight, boys. It is. There's extra pressure now after losing that game last week. And the performance as well, the manner of the defeat. Because, I mean, all what we've said in criticism, and I'll touch on one of the ones that kept me awake, right? They kept me awake on numerous nights throughout the week, right? But I'll touch on it in a minute now. But
in a minute now?
That's
the most Scarlet thing you could say, isn't it? In a minute now.
What was weird was, despite it being a really worryingly poor performance from us, all over the park, you couldn't really single one or two people out. They were all not with it, right? We were only one try away from having a big bonus point win. If we'd have scored,
I know.
Right? So,
and one should have been given
that
rolling ball.
That is testament to how bad they are. Okay, in that, it's worrying that we did that against a team like that, and it is a wake up call. But going back to there was one of those things. Do you remember in the game? And this instance has been the one that's been keeping me up. Okay, because it's either our rugby intelligence to react, or it's coaching, our forwards coach in particular. There was a catch and drive just after we'd scored the first try, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we were putting pressure on their line again, and it was within that first 20 minutes where it was all us, right? It was all us in territory possession.
It was all us.
But we were starting to play Harlem Globetrotter stuff. But there was a catch and drive, okay? And we'd already got the ball over the line once, but it didn't get grounded, okay? So it comes back for a penalty, and we try it again. And that second maul, the two Edinburgh players that stopped that maul, they're both legal, it's fine. Okay? Yeah. I've got no problem with it. The 5 for Edinburgh comes through the middle. The loose head prop, the number 1, the one with the mullet, right, or the hair, right, he comes up the side, and the reason he's allowed to come up the side and round and block the exit of the ball to Kieran Hardy is because he has bound onto a player that was at the front and worked his way with that player to the back. Now that player he was bound on was Rob Evans, okay? Now Rob Evans, knowing he's got an opposition player bound to him, carries on filtering round and coming into the back of the maul, allowing that prop to stick to him, and then just look at the ref and say, I'm okay, and I'm okay here, and and the ref's like,
just let go of him.
And that's all Rob Evans had to do was let go of the maul.
Yeah, just let go of the whole thing.
Then that prop's got to let go of him and
he's going to go back round,
from the back foot, right?
From the proverbial gate. Yeah.
And now if I can see that, right, I'm not a forward, never been a player. I know it again, I've done it for a laugh, and I was quickly out there. Whether it was slung out or decided to leave, right?
I don't think anybody plays in the forwards for a laugh, mate. Come on now.
No, well, some do. And those are the forwards you want, right? That they don't get.
It's true.
That,
I know.
The Tyson Fury element in that, that psychology of, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm going to, and, the Diogenes, I mean, you can name them all. They didn't care for their own body. They didn't care for their own. They just so committed and so up on adrenaline. And this is the way the game is going. So anyway, that was the one that kept me up. Surely, I was tempted to pop down and have a chat with Dwayne Peel and say, have you boys noticed this? Because I'm worried.
I'm sure they are.
I am worried that you're not seeing this. And I'm not criticising Dwayne Peel or any of the coaches here, but I am ooh, are we going to get this right? I didn't expect things to go that, so the players seemed that naive, as if they've never played the game before. That's what some of the errors were, okay?
Yeah, it's just, that instance, rugby knowledge, and that's all that was. Rob Evans, maybe he look back at himself in training individual this week, and
I hope so, because otherwise
would have
Wyn
seen
Jones
like,
is
if
stepping
I'd let
straight back
go.
in once he's back.
I know it's awkward, and like when you're on the pitch compared to watching yourself back, you're like, I could have done this right, I could have done that better, I could,
Oh yeah,
but like,
but I'm on about
it's
the thing is, the other side of it was he wasn't even pushing, he wasn't even contributing.
no,
he was
you're just leaning
actually
on me.
blocking the ball coming back. Why? Just step out to the of the mall then, and be prepared. And this is it. Like, isn't there? Surely they'd have somebody. Don't engage in the initial setup of the mall, and stay out and leave whoever comes out. Another thing, do you ever remember there was a game of Strad years ago, and we were praised for the way Gaz Jenkins had destroyed Northampton's rolling mall. And every time Northampton tried to get their rolling mall going, we didn't engage fully. We left people like Dav Jones, Easterby and Quinnell out of it. And what they would do was, they'd enter the first part of it, but they wouldn't look to try and push it. They'd grab hold of the front guy and rip him out of there, and then another guy would grab the next guy and he'd rip him out of there. And all of a sudden there was a gap to go through the middle, and then they'd pile through whoever was left. That was the tactic, and it worked. It just disintegrated their organisation. Because if you look, no mall starts to drive until they're comfortable that they've set into their formation.
Yeah, you always see it. Some malls will
that's a weakness.
Take it. Yeah, you see it all the time. You see a mall, like, an attacking mall. They will, they'll come down from a line out, they'll take it, they'll set it up. They might lose, 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
On the shunt from the opposite, from a defensive team. But then once they're set, yes, they might have another 3 or 4 yards to gain, but they'll normally gain that plus more. Yeah. You see it so often, like, but well, depending on the team and how good the mall is, but.
Yeah. I just think sometimes
get it right, innit?
Well, there's too much of a gap, and malls at the moment as well, they don't seem to be like a display of power. They just seem to be a display of synchronized swimming or something. They're not like two forwards like wrestling each other for pure strength and technique. It's all about technique now. It's all about where you are, and this is the other thing on all general rugby. Players, when they're in a mall, they're not concentrating on what they're doing. They're putting hands on gently and looking at the ref. Am I okay here? Can I be here? And it's like, get on with the game. And this is not so much the ref fault, but this is World Rugby's lawmakers here now. They've tinkered around with these parts of the game so much, right? We've got metatarsal coaches, right? To get our metatarsals at the correct angle in scrums. And it's just like, it's overcomplicating it. And no matter what rule you bring in, there'll always be a coach out there trying to take advantage of it. Like I've just displayed there now. That rule allowing a player to come round, you can't swim up the mall anymore like you used to be able to do unless you're through the middle, but you can't change your bike.
Yes, correct.
But, so if you're bound to a player that's part of that mall, and that aspect is allowing you to get on the other side of the mall, then if you're the attacking player in that mall and you feel an opposition player clinging onto you, let go of the mall. So he's got to leave go, and then you can re-enter yourself, and you'll re-enter quicker than he has. So anyway, we've got a couple of comments. Amber says, evening Amber, how are you? That's a nice, you've got a nice, a delightful profile picture she's got there. Can you see it?
Delightful, there she is. Look, I can see it. I don't need to see it. I see it every day.
Oh, you lucky thing, right? Wow. She's laughing in the chat.
Ivan is in the chat as well. Hugh Hogan has a lot of work to do. Big mistake not employing a defence coach last year. I'm confident in Hugh Hogan. He's done wonders for Leinster. Give him a bit of time, boys. I think he'll come good for us. I am confident in him.
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading.
You're good.
I was reading another comment. I didn't realise it's Amber's comment, so I'll leave you read now. Welsh Boy 96 is asking how come you're not at the game. We did discuss it. We discussed it at length. Well, Chris is there. Can you see? He's in Park of Scarlets. You're blind or what?
It's full, yeah.
I'm only kidding. I hope you're not blind. That would have been a moment, for the clips,
Aye, would have been, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What's Amber saying here? I hate that. Not trying to make this about me, but the amount of times when I play with the girls, I'm more concerned about checking if they're allowed to be there. Me personally, I'd rather take the pen.
Well, this is
Nothing wrong with that.
This is another aspect, and I'm going to leave it there when it comes to like moaning about refs and the laws and stuff. But you know how like a ref will say, "Get back, stay on side," blah blah blah. He's coaching them throughout the game, right? But then all of a sudden he ping out of nowhere for that race. All game he's told them, but part of me is like, don't tell them, just ping them. Just, you know what I mean? Because they've already slowed the ball down then, you know? Refs say to you, no they don't, Amber.
They actually do. They actually do.
We're going to be doing something wrong anyway.
Normally, high tackles, normally.
Right. So, yeah. Well, how come we're not in the game? We decided to commit to what we've started because we're enjoying what we've started here, and we've sacrificed going to the game. Basically, Welsh boy.
And we thought they was going to hammer it down as well.
No, I wasn't bothered about that. To be honest, I did say to you, if you wanted to go, Chris, and I was gonna do the stream live on my own, and then we were gonna have a half-time reaction and a full-time reaction via Zoom from you, and you were gonna do that on your phone, and I was gonna go live to you at the stadium, which we can do, but.
Moving forward, definitely. Hey, are we going to...
Can I just finish? I just want to offer that aspect is open to anybody that's at the ground. In future, it's too late for tonight now, but we want to engage with fans that are at the ground and go live with them, or even if they want to record a video and just send it to us, and we'll include it, right?
Good idea.
So, sorry, what were you going to say then?
Oh, yeah. So we got a little bit of an announcement to make today, haven't we? Are we going to keep that till half time?
We're going to keep it till, I don't know, or just before. So what time is it now?
Well, we should have a quick look at the team now because they're kicking off in...
exactly. And I need, like, you're going to have to bear with me.
8 minutes.
I've set up a scene for this. We haven't had a chance to trial it yet, so it might take a couple of seconds. Just bear with us a minute. We'll just go into this.
Yeah, it'll be good. You can have a look at our nice shiny new wavy screen in the background there. Look at that. Beautiful.
I'm going to have to
look at that.
Redo it. There you go. Now it's on.
Bang.
Right then. So basically what we're doing is we're just going to go through. This was the team announcement. Will Griff John has handed his first URC start for the visit of the Lions. So just going through here. There's the team. So I'll go from fullback. Johnny McNichol at fullback once again. I'm not convinced of him myself as a fullback. I prefer him as a wing. He got us into a bit of trouble where he has a tendency to, when he does want to run ball back, a lot of the time, I don't mind him getting caught, but a lot of the time he turns that ball over or just throws a wayward pass or kicks loose. And they counter-attack when we haven't got a full-back in place then. That's what I don't like about him. I'd have perhaps swapped Tommy Rogers and McNichol. And Tommy Rogers a full-back maybe. But so Johnny McNichol full-back. Tommy Rogers brought into the wing. I was surprised he didn't start against Edinburgh, but I think there was a bit of an injury with him. The centres, surprisingly, from my point of view as well, have been retained together. I thought he might have swapped it around a little bit, but let's hope, there's good experience there, and at home you'd like to see both Scott and John the Fox gel together. Steph kept his place as well. Slightly surprised with that. He needs to improve his defence. He made that winger he was marking last week look like Brian Abana.
Lumu.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
And he made on a lot of the defence, both him and Dan Jones were totally missing in defence against Edinburgh. So we need an improvement from Steph. Talking of Dan, he's been dropped. I think rightly so. there were elements to that game where far below what we expect from a Scarlets 10. Good opportunity for Sam Costello there. Kieran Hardy again, someone I think the reason he's starting is because that it's Dane Blacker on the bench and it's not quite the same level. He's lucky. If it had been Cowdo would have been starting, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Rob
think so.
Evans again, he needs a big game. As does Ryan Elias. The only reason Ryan Elias I would have gone with him again is because when Mark Jones, who I do like and is a solid player, but he was equally as poor with his throw-in coming on. So you've got a question. It was about disruption with the locks and things like this that our lineup was not functioning. Talking of locks, a whole new second row, both Jack and Tom Price. In what was the gag you had? You had a gag for that.
The price is right in the boiler house.
The price is right in the boiler house. So moving on swiftly.
Very swiftly.
No, that's good. This is good. It's all good. So we've got a back row of Blade Thompson, and I was surprised they resisted moving Blade up to the second row maybe, but yeah, Blade Thompson at 6, Dan Davis at 7. And obviously Sione Calamafoni at 8. Substitutes, Mark Jones, Phil Price, Samson Lee, and Morgan Jones. Good to see Morgan Jones back in there. Quite surprised that he hasn't been involved more up until now.
Yeah.
Sean Evans coming in for the injured Tom Price, which we'll probably touch on as an update.
Tom Phillips,
sorry. We'll probably touch on in a bit. Dane Blacker didn't really have a great game when he came on last week. Probably looking to improve, as will Dan Jones if he gets the chance to come on, because he's sort of living on with Patchell hoping to be back soon. Dan Jones needs to get his name back in the conversation because he's quickly drifting in. He's quickly drifting in my eyes to third spot. And Ewan Nicholas as a solid utility back there for the 3 quarters. So yeah, it's looking good. We're about to kick off. I'm going to get the game up here, aren't I?
Do you know you're saying about your Nicholas there being a back 3 utility player? I think he's played a bit of centre as well, so I think he's more of like a back.
I did say 3 quarters. I did say 3 quarters, didn't I?
Ah, you did, okay. Sorry.
I did.
But yeah, he's a good option there, really, considering our resources right now. He's he can cover centre, wing, and full back, which is a good thing. So, and he's been doing the right, man. To be fair to him, he looks like he's bulked a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed in the he's more robust
Nottingham game.
In his his attitude. He looks a better rugby player now, in that he takes into contact, he flies into a tackle harder. He was a bit small and a bit young still. You could see he wasn't quite up to playing men's rugby at the highest level when he was coming in before. And he was coming into teams where the team was struggling as well before, you know. So we're not far out. Got to get this up here a minute. Sorry about this. I'm just getting my feed. Have you got your feed ready?
It's good to go, pal. It's on, yeah. I've had it on since the beginning.
I'm not getting anything yet.
No, but I'm looking forward to seeing how Will Griff-John goes tonight. We haven't really had a good chance to have a look at him yet, have we?
Yeah.
He's been coming off the bench. He did start against Leicester, but again, you couldn't really get a good look at him because the camera work was shoddy. But looking forward tonight to see how he does on a start. Obviously, he's had a good pre-season. You know, he's been given plenty of time to get used to our systems and things in terms of calls and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes tonight. Hopefully he can do some damage because he can. I've seen him playing for Sale. He's quite an explosive player in his carrying and stuff. So hopefully we get our money's worth on old Will Griff.
It's not.
With a bit of luck.
I'm clicking this here and it's not coming up.
Oh no! You missed the game.
I know.
If you go now, you might make kick-off on your bike, mind?
I'll do a live mobile app one. So, right, I don't know how I'm going to work this, because the only option I've got here, coming up, Scarlets Lions, but there's no thing to click on the for the screen.
I just got it on BBC iPlayer, pal. I am.
Right, okay, let's have a look here.
Yeah,
Normally the link
no, I'm
is
yeah, the coverage has started. Garby Logan standing on the what do we call it these days? The signing end, the Kemkier end.
well, this is what I was
Standing on the
talking about
Kier end
before.
of the North Terrace there. With...
We've got a South African in here. Johan Deploy. I hope I pronounced that right. Lions is going to win, yeah. Well, we'll see. I think it's going to be a close game. Two sides that like to play. So we'll have to wait and see. Be careful. No, you do know while you're in here, Johan, that it's very possible you could catch scarlet fever, right? Okay. Many have come in and many have come out, different people after it.
And there is no cures there.
I think it's fascinating for us to be able to play new sides. It's always exciting to play a new side that we're not familiar with and getting used to new players. I'm really looking forward to seeing the South African teams coming up against all the Welsh teams and in general where we all come out. It's going to be even more exciting, I think. So next season, hopefully, well, we'll have at least one South African team qualifying into the European Cup. So, Amber, you missed a trick there, Amber. It's welcome. It's welcome. That's how you say it. WELKOM.
She does struggle with English, or mine.
I'm not saying that, Amber. I'm not saying that. Right then. So I'm still struggling here, boys. For some reason, I am not getting any. I've gone to the iPlayer one.
BBC Two. Are you set on to BBC Two Wales on iPlayer?
Oh, let's have a look, yeah.
One language at a time now, pal, Amber said.
Channels.
Welsh boy surprised the South African teams allowed to travel back and forth during COVID. I think it's a lot of bubble stuff, innit? Like a lot of them probably are not going to see much of their families and things because, like, obviously they're over here and 2 or 3 game blocks at a time. So it's going to be a long old season for their wives and children, that's for sure. But no, I think it is a welcome addition. Obviously last couple of years we've been used to playing against the likes of the Cheetahs and the Kings, who, for me, were nowhere near. The Cheetahs had a couple of good performances here and there, but for me, really, they were nowhere near the standard needed to compete in this particular league. No. I think these 4 coming in now are gonna surprise a few.
Well, they haven't got their internationals there with them at the moment, and neither have we. So it is difficult, but it is still a good gauge for like where squads are, especially if they've both got similar amounts of internationals out in similar positions.
Yeah. Lions making their way to the pitch. A lot of them. Do you know what this is what I like about like South African teams and the island teams and all these kind of things? They're all religious and they come out and you can see how much it means to them. They get down, they do their little, I don't know if it's praying or whatever it is they're doing, but I love to see it, like, honestly. Yeah. Come on then, Scarlets, let's go. Here they come. Here we go. We got a mullet in the crowd here. I don't know who that is. It's a fantastic mullet. It looks a little bit like Joe Exotic.
And just in time, I managed to get things working. Yeah.
You up and running now, pal?
Yeah. What it was,
over
the
to
link I had was the right link, but they didn't have the play button on it right until the teams come out. And then it suddenly worked.
That's strange.
Yeah, really weird. So I'm going to pop one earplug in behind here now. So I can hear you, and it's a moment.
I'm one for the game.
Yeah,
it is.
So I'm going to take a moment's silence here to mark this.
I tell you what, mind. I love Rev Eldon Phillips' voice. I
do in that. I tell you who I've always said would be brilliant is Barry. I forget his surname now. He's with Crease 16. He's got that brilliant baritone voice, and you need to have a deep voice to do the announcement to boom. It sounds far better.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good when it's somebody high pitched. I wouldn't. I'm not high pitched. So what am I? A 10? No. Someone's saying,
here we go.
What is Clewod?
Lions in Welsh.
Or are we wrong, Brian Nicholson?
You're spot on, mate. Clewod.
Lions, yes. The Emirates Lions, that's who we're playing.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Early signs of intent, yeah.
Where are you watching from, Brian? It's nice to have you in here. Calling the Lions. Well, the thing is, we're trying to be bilingual here. South African, bro. Oh, right. No, it's Welsh for Lions. Clewod. Sorry,
yes.
Brian. So you're in South Africa. You're South African, supporting the Lions. Here goes John Davis. Steph Evans, chip ahead, down the left-hand side here. Oh, and there's a spill here. The ball's loose. It could be a try. Oh. Good cover there. Oh, big hit by Dan Davis to make sure that ball does not cross the try line. Scrum 5 to the Scarlets.
Great start, Nick.
Scarlets in Welsh is something like Scarletiae or something, so I didn't see the one. There wasn't enough room on the scoreboard for it, and two, it just if you want the Welsh, it's Llanelli.
That's right. Maybe we'll have to get the contractors in, Nick, to see if they can extend our scoreboard a bit for us. Maybe we'll have to give Tad Builders a shout or something.
It's very nice to have you in here, Brian. And he's saying Lions are not great, and I'm a proper supporter. Nice to have you in here, Brian. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I did put a bit of a feelers out with a few links to like South African sides. I linked them in there because I've been watching a few other guys that are doing the same sort of thing as us, which is the Rugby Guru and 2 Cents Rugby. I tagged them in it. Well, listen, that's a question I've got for you, Brian. How many internationals are the Lions missing? I think, what are we missing out of the British Lions, British and Irish Lions? I think we're missing 2 or 3 in it. And 1 or 2 with injuries that would be first team starters. Obviously, 2 Cents is proper. Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe, well, we myself and Chris of Scarlet Fever TV, we're hoping to maybe tie up with some of these South African games, or at least for some of the internationals. Maybe it'd be good to do a bit of dual content, like. So yeah, of course, yeah, they are, all of them now at the moment, and they're all in the Rugby Championship, and they, of course. It's interesting because what you say there, Brian, about because we've seen Dwayne Vermeulen be signed by Ulster straight away, which is a shame, because really he was coming into this league anyway. It would have been nicer as a neutral fan to see him for a South African side, you know, especially next year with them going into, you know, there's going to be South African sides in European competition, which is mouth-watering. I think it's a great thing. So anyway, this scrum has been having a couple of restarts here, which isn't a good sign early on. Oh, there's this Italian ref. I was watching this guy. Was it for the first game? Was it Cardiff? Cardiff against Connacht, I think it was. This ref.
You might be, these the Lions front row in particular, fairly sizable guys.
Well, I don't think there are any small ones in South Africa.
No, I don't.
In the front 5. So
I think when they're born in South Africa, they're the same size as you or I, Nick, I think.
Yeah. Brian, if you thank you for coming in. I was just going to ask you before the scrum takes place, if you could share a link to any South African fellow rugby fans to pop in and say hello. It'd be great to have more of you in here. So taking quickly here, Scarlets looking to capitalise now. Free kick. Driving close to the line here.
That's it, boys. Phase work.
That's better. Kieran Hardy back in orders, controlling his forwards a bit better, because he wasn't doing this last week against Edinburgh. Oh, he's almost over.
Oh.
Short. Is the ball coming back? Looks like it's coming back. Is he offside there? Yeah, he's offside.
Yes, he is.
It's a try. Good try.
Beautiful.
That's Rob Evans. The one I was
Big Rob.
Big Rob.
Well done, Rob. That's where Rob's good, mind. And around the rucks there, close to the line, he does a lot of unseen work, I think, Rob, there.
So
just holding people into a ruck or something, and, you know, just clever work. Good start, Scarlets.
Yeah. You take the reins a minute while I'm sorting the scoreboard.
Of course. Yeah, he's done well there. To be fair, a little pick. That's beautiful work. Do you know what he's done really well there? He's got right underneath the, I think it's the second row there, laying on top of him right now. I think he's at number 5.
Right.
He's done extremely well there to get underneath him, because he was coming in quite low and Rob's gone lower. So good stuff. He's been practicing sliding over his carpet, I think, in the living room. Good stuff. Sam Costello adds the conversion. 7-0 Scarlets. 5 minutes on the clock. Good stuff. Good start. Probably the best start you could hope for.
Well, we needed that. And we are aware, as Brian Nicholson has pointed out, you know, nobody's going to be getting carried away here. If we do seem like that, it's not from the point of view of we think, oh, we're doing brilliant against top-notch South African side. What it is about seeing a performance that's an improvement to what we saw last week from the Scarlets, because that's what everybody's sort of wanting to see put right. It's not about who we're playing so much, but at the same time, I want the Lions, I don't want them to be a walkover. I want them to give us a good test.
Good hit to Will Griff John.
Yeah, so Lions here with a bit of possession now. Let's see their first opportunity to see what they can do. It looks like they're going to go for the kick and chase here, the box kick. So here's a test here now. God, see, not cleanly taken. And Johnny McNichol, they'd be lucky here to get away with this.
Need a nice clean exit, yeah. Nothing stupid,
yeah. It's
now.
disappointing in that, we'll get punished for that. You've got to take that. That's a good exit there. Good yards gained. Intelligent play.
Yeah, nice little slip by Rob Ebbs there.
And reacted. Long box kick. Lands in field. The Lions field it. Pass inside. The full back takes it in. Looks like he could be holding on, but he's recycled it. It was close. Oh. And there's a good step, a couple of steps there. I think that was the Lions centre. Good passing in midfield from the forwards here. They got something about them. It's not just head down rugby. They got good skills, these guys. So they've set up central of the park. They go in right. Oh, they've gone back into the pocket for a kick. And this is what we're seeing from South African sides. This seems to be a tactic from the national team down, where they do like a tactical kick. And very much
they do.
Leinster and Munster would play, and it's no coincidence. I'm sure I'm correct in Rassie Erasmus was Munster coach, wasn't he, when we beat Munster for the league? Am I wrong in that? I'm sure that was Rassie Erasmus.
I'll be honest with you, Nick. I was so
I know what you're going to say.
Emotional that day.
Right. Because
you didn't think I'd say that then, did you?
No. I thought
I genuinely can't remember.
Oh, and again, why is our scrum half? Why are they? Credit to the Lions. They're targeting our scrum half here. They've done it once. Put the kick on him. He hasn't taken it, and straight away they kicked down his throat again. Right. With a decent chase. Now he should
move now, shouldn't he? Really?
Well, he shouldn't. We should be having Johnny McNichol closer to him, right?
Yep.
Or Hardy take a position closer to him, so when the ball comes, McNichol can come and take it. The fullback. But I'm not convinced with McNichol as a fullback anyway myself. And it's clear that the Lions have targeted this. They've done this twice. They've got change from it. That's only going to encourage them to keep doing it.
But they got field position from it.
Exactly. That's almost as good as a 50. Yeah, that's the same as a 50-22. If you could
bit of a colour clash looking in the scrum.
A little bit because of the backs of the shirts. Surprised that they haven't picked this up. That's a good break by the outside half. Good tackle by Sam Costello.
Excellent.
But there's numbers here, and this could be problems for the Scarlets.
This could cause us a few big men running on us.
There from the Scarlets.
Well done, Scott Williams.
Has he turned
Scarlets
it?
Ball. Oh no, he's on the wrong side of the ball.
Coming for the Lions. They need to change these jerseys.
Advantage, no.
He's over. Try for the Lions. Brian Nicholson says you love the Lions.
Oh no, it's not a try.
He's come back, right? Brian Nicholson is saying in the chat here, love the Lions, but we can't hold on to players. So mostly youth, 2 to 3 years max in the team. Hopefully URC brings some money into the union. Well, this is a problem. You're not alone. Obviously, Welsh sides were suffering up until recently. The exact same problem. The money in France was taking players away, and England. But now, because the union have more or less said to players, you've got to be playing in Wales to play for Wales. They do allow it that a player can play outside Wales, and that's what really South Africa have got to turn around and say, in that you're only allowed to play for a foreign club once you've reached a certain milestone of international caps. Then you've earned your right. Whereas if you've just won 10 caps and then suddenly you want to go again, that's you're going to jeopardise your place in the national side, and that I think will right that then, Brian Nicholson. I don't know what you think, Brian, about that. Oh, and this is what McNichol does this every time. He's coming into the
If
line.
he could have, yeah, I think if he got that pass out to Steph, Steph was home and dry.
But the problem is, his percentage of them sticking is very low, and 9 times out of 10 or 7 times out of 10, and that's being kind. Okay, 7 times out of 10, he loses the ball while attacking up from fullback, which leaves us wide open. Unless they've got, but I never seem to see that, or somebody else is dropping back for him. He always tends to do it off the cuff, and we're not prepared for it. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Yeah. He's one of them. What's the term here? The phrase here. He plays his rugby on the edge, so to speak. You know.
Yeah.
Like he'll throw a random pass sometimes, and he'll come off, and we'll score an absolute scintillating try. And then other times, we're getting caught.
Yeah.
He
trusts himself. Fullback making a run here from deep. Made a bit too many
Dan
yards
Davis.
for my liking. This is a scrappy. This is turning into scrappiness. They really do need. I think Scarlets need to change their kit, because the backs of the Lions kit is causing a problem when there's 2 lots of forwards. You can't tell who's who.
What won't be helping? So the training kit the Scarlets are using, the red with like the white spider web and stuff.
Yeah.
I know. On the back of the Lions kit, it's got that red with the white.
It's the same as the Scarlets. I know. We've got a new.
They think they're in the training paddock.
We've got another South African viewer here I hope I'm going to pronounce this right. It's Renier van Onselen. And he says, "Kom no Luikis," which is thanks, gents. Thank you very much for.
I'm going to hazard a guess here and say that "kom no Luikis."
Yeah.
I'm going to say a hazard a guess here and say that means "come on the Lions."
Is it? Right.
I'm going to hazard a guess here. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to grab it and Google Translate it.
I'm really glad I brought you along, no?
Not just a pretty face,
just want to say the same. Not just a pretty face. So welcome in, Renier, and thank you. It's really good to have opposition fans in here as well. Obviously, this is a home game, so a lot of Scarlet fans that might have been in here, they're at the ground right now. We decided we ummed and ahed, but we thought we wanted to do the live stream. So, well, actually, Chris has got the background. He is at Parker Scarlets.
I'm here in spirit, and I was right as well. It means "come now, Lions." This is the same sort of
just googled it, have you?
Just did a quick Google search, and I was right. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that, actually.
So it's 1 pen.
I was very happy with that.
The Lions. You carry on while I do this, mate.
Yeah, 1 pen for the Llywod. Lions with a decent escape there, up towards the halfway line.
They're causing us to be jittery, the Lions are. They're doing their job in that they're making us make a few mistakes.
Boys.
See?
We got to win our own line, though. Another one gone wayward again.
We're lucky,
box
really.
Stick, box stick.
It's a poor box stick. Go on, Tommy. Watch out for Tommy Rogers. The South Africans that are in the room, keep an eye on Tommy Rogers, our right wing. This lad is good. He's a good, talented youngster.
He's raw, but he's got the minerals, I think.
He's got something special that even the more experienced ones haven't. Good kick.
Yeah. Clever kick. No, not quite.
I know. I was going to say I wasn't a 50-22, but it's not quite, is it? Have you seen the chat, Chris? I'll allow you to.
I'm just flicking between it now. Well translated. Thank you very much. I hazarded a guess, but then I took it to Google Translate and give it a bash. And I thought he meant "come on the Lions" or "let's go Lions" or something like that.
So I suppose the Welsh translation would be ymlaen Llywod.
That would mean "forward Lions."
Forward Lions.
Dead ymlaen y Llywod.
Yeah, ymlaen Llywod, didn't it? Yeah.
Or you could say "dead ymlaen."
Wow! Thank you very much, Renier, and feel free to pop in for future games. because we're going to try and do not just Scarlets games, even though we're Scarlets designated fan channel. We will be covering other games throughout the league and Europe when that kicks in as well. So keep tuned, because we're going to be trying to cover as much of our new competitors in the league. It's nice to have you. This league is far from perfect, but it's what we've got and it's what we make of it, I think, isn't it? And at least
it is.
There is a big South African contingent living in the UK, so you'd think that there'd be some travelling support. I remember the Cheetahs and I forget the other team, the Kings. They used to bring some fans with them, especially when it was sunny. They did, yeah. Not so much when it was raining, but when it was sunny at the end of the season. If you remember the Cheetahs, I think it was, with Blomcheese and Kasim.
User Kasim.
Yeah, they came with the Cheetahs, and they brought quite a few fans with them that day. I remember it. Scarlets now attacking, trying to offload. They need to get the balance better. There's a good rip there. I tell you what, the Scarlets need to get the game balanced a little bit better, in that they do look to offload too much for my liking.
Yeah, sometimes you got to set it up.
Making some hard yards, they're looking to do it before taking all contact, which you know, it isn't. It's never been the Scarlets way, though some people think it is, and it's not. Scarlets way was cup rugby: kick, possession, kick, territory, get a score, get ahead, get 2 scores ahead, then play rugby. That's what Scarlet's way was.
That's a great kick, Sam Costello.
And he's targeted him. Look, that's a clever thing to do. Once you see a player hasn't retreated. Oh, he's got a smack on the head, yeah.
Get the vase on it. Good. That's a tremendous kick, mind, from Sam Costello. We need the forwards to reward him, you know, and get this line out secured.
Definitely.
Otherwise, next time, you won't put it so close.
Thankfully, now I don't know how many of... There's more South Africans in here. There's lots of them coming in, which is great to see.
Welcome in, boys.
Peter Blainout. I'm struggling with that one. Yeah, Chris, you're our closest thing to a Afrikaans translator we've got.
I'm going to say Peter Blainout.
Blainout. It's hard. It is difficult unless you hear it. Then once you hear someone else say it the correct way, it's easier. It's easier then, isn't it?
If you were in West Wales, people would say Pieter Blignout.
Blignout.
That's what they'd say further west.
In Welsh. One thing for any of you South Africans that aren't in the UK, close but fine. If only we could have a way. One day we'll have to get one of you on here with us and do a dual commentary. Oh, there's a gap here, and it looks like a try for Tommy Rogers.
Go on, big Tommy boy. Beautiful, son.
Tommy Gunn has scored, and now he didn't really have to do a lot to score that. But we are saying he is me and Chris both love Tommy Rogers. He's a little kid. He's coming through. This is his second season. He's just been, while the Lions were away, Wales picked him and gave him his first international cap. I believe, was it against Argentina?
He played against Canada and the second test against Argentina, which I went to watch.
So the first cap was against Canada, was it?
Yeah, and he was desperate to score. You could see him.
Yeah.
He was desperate, and the ball just wouldn't come his way.
Yeah. But and he's looking a bit bigger this season as well, because last season he was quite thin. He's filled out a little bit. Watch this kid, what he can do when he gets a bit of space. He's so intelligent the way he runs.
And that's
for someone who's a Scarlet fan, where we're known for flare backs, and they're all pretty good at handling and running and passing, but Tommy Rogers is another level where he's better at this age than Scott Williams, John Davis, George North. He's got more rugby ability than any of those had at that age. Right? This is the scary thing about him. So
I love him, I do.
You hold the fort there a minute, Chris, while I do the scoreboard.
Crack on, pal.
Well,
You haven't got to tell me, I'll talk all day long. I think we might be related, Nick, actually. Love a chat, the pair of us.
Oh, to each other, you mean? All right. I shouldn't talk about that stuff like that.
With anyone. No, no, for those of you that don't know, sometimes during the week, we'll plan stuff ahead for the weekend and we'll jump on a Zoom call. We always aim to have our Zoom calls for about an hour long. Just have a quick chat, go over a few things. They normally end up being about 5 hours long, and I'm late for work.
After them, I get up out of this chair. I'm like, I can't walk. I'm like, oh, I actually went shopping to Trostre earlier on today, right? And I walked because I'm not taking the van. I'm gonna walk because I need the exercise basically. And I was sweating. But my point was about, I was making a point about the South Africans that we have got in here. I'm not sure if you're UK based or whether you are in South Africa, but the last 2 or 3 days we have had torrential rain. We've gone from late summer and suddenly these last few days we've started to go into autumn, winter sort of weather, and it is absolutely poured down. So we're very lucky that today, this afternoon, it opened up and we had blue skies. It was a bit breezy, but it's nice and dry. So we're having a good game because Park of Scarlets pitch is great for running on, but when it's raining heavy, the ball is like a bar of soap.
Yeah, the grease becomes, the pitch becomes greasy.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it gets very greasy. There's what it is, because it's like a semi-synthetic pitch. That's got like a weave in it. That is a composite weave. There's not a lot of mud with it, and sometimes you need a bit of mud in bad weather for rugby to help the ball stick, isn't it?
Yeah, you do. And to help your feet get a good grip in the scrum sometimes, like a suction on your ankles.
Yeah.
I'm talking Doc Stars, Bettos, these sort of pitches, you know. I do apologise, guys, if you can hear my dog barking in the background. She's in season. So
I do apologise. Phil Manager, who I know is based in Bristol. Sorry, I did see your comment earlier, but I got distracted with the things that are going on for the stream. But nice to see you in, Phil. Thanks for coming in. Nearly a 50-22. Yeah, not far off us. That's the second one we almost had. Scott Williams was close to one earlier on. And on that note about where I mentioned about where Phil Manager is from, I love that whoever's in here, we love to know where you are watching from. Just give like the town.
Absolutely.
Just pop in the chat the town where you're watching from, so we know. It's good to see then where people are watching from. Right, so it's a bit of a stop and play here. So I mean, how you finding it so far? It's still a bit Edinburgh-ish this performance.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
The only difference is against Edinburgh, we didn't score as many points. But I think I'd say we're looking comfortable right now. They haven't really offered too much in attack. They had one visit, no 22.
Yeah. What's
I don't know.
Less worrying for me? Lions don't seem to be wanting to take us on too much up front, which is
weird to see, innit?
Surprising, really. I was expecting them to really come at us up front. But they seem to want to have an expansive game with us, which is good for us. South Africa, Gauteng Springs. Brilliant. I will all be Googling that later now. And exactly do it. I tell you a hobby of mine, I like to do Google Street Maps and see different cities and as if I'm there, you know what I mean?
I do that a lot, mind.
Yeah, I always sort of think of riding my bike to these places here, so I'm always looking for good. There's a break here from Steph Evans. He's very elusive. He managed to wriggle out of a couple of tackles there, but didn't make too much ground, but he's managed to set it up. Kieran Hardy with the ball, going right, spreads it out to one of the Prices, either Jack or Tom.
One of them.
And he spreads it out again. Rob Evans on the charge. The ball goes loose, but I think it's gone backwards. No, it's gone forwards. It's a shame. And this is the problem for the Scarlets. Lions not having to really do too much to defend there before we made a mistake. So let's have a look here. I'm just about to...
Frantic action there, though. Amber's saying about Hurricane Sam is on his way. Here he is, look. Hurricane Sam Costello. Look at that little wraparound. Tremendous.
Very nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Very nice. And that creates, there's the space. I would have thought maybe then was the time for, as soon as he got that ball in his hands, to grubber it, because the defence was coming on to him.
Yeah,
and
towards
he could
the
have
post.
his run outside the touchline and come back in, you know, to evade the tacklers, and they wouldn't have been able to touch him. Because he's such, he kicks most of the time, he tries that little grubber, Steph does. So it was surprising, the one time it would have worked very well, he didn't do it.
Do you know you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
I think, right, someone has told him, like, look, that little grubber, you do it, yes, it's good.
I know.
Teams are starting to pick up on it, right? Because the season we won the league.
Yeah.
The season we won the league, right?
That's it.
He done that a lot. We scored a lot from it. The next season, it was sort of 50-50. The season after, we hardly scored from it. I think he's been told to get out of his game a bit. But then the opportunity is presenting itself more and more.
But you know what annoys me there is, this is the Welsh player psychology. We've heard this from foreign coaches that have come here, in that Welsh players, when they're told to do something, they're very respectful in that they do it and they listen and they do as they're told, but they take things too literally. I remember Graham Henry years ago coming over and doing things, and then you know, when he said, like, oh, kick, that's all everybody did was kick the ball. And it's like, play what you see in front of you, though. If it is on to do it, have the authority and boldness to do it, but don't. He's obviously been told he was doing it every time the ball got to his hands last season.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he was wasting opportunities where we had field position, you know, because he was trying it every time. Well,
it became readable.
Well, the worst thing happened was he tried it out 2 or 3 times and it worked 2 or 3 times. That was the problem. And then it becomes muscle memory. It becomes something, Phil Manager, brilliant. Bristol 3, Bath 7. I did mean to have this on in the background to watch this game. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some scores up here so I can keep an eye on in the background. Because I do also want to keep an eye on, there's another game in the URC, isn't there? So let's have a look here.
Phil Manager, you are spot on there. Pal Back's looking much better with Costello.
Oh, definitely.
I couldn't agree more.
Definitely. And I had a debate about Dan Jones with a few other Scarlet fans, namely Jason Palmer. Very good friend. Who are you laughing for?
Mainly Jason Palmer.
Mainly Jason Palmer. 7-all with the Vodacom Bulls against Connacht. I don't envy fans or players of Vodacom Bulls out in Connacht tonight with that storm coming in the Irish off the
absolutely
Irish
not.
NJH says volume down, sorry. I'm not sure what they're saying. Is there a problem with our volume, or
who knows?
Who knows?
Well, one way to find out whose volume you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah.
If he doesn't respond, we know it's ours. Nick, I'm just going to pop my webcam off a second, my friend.
No problem, I shall take over. Looks like there's a change
I'm still
up
here.
Front here for the Lions. Is this an injury?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Surely.
Should be. Looks like it's maybe like lower leg or something, is it? Because it looks okay.
Something, all right. Yeah.
He's not moving. He's moving slowly. Passes like a bang, maybe to the head. Might be.
Don't know, to be honest with you. He's gone straight into the stand. If it was a HIA, surely he'd be going down the tunnel, wouldn't he?
Oh, MGH. I'll watch back later. What's your thoughts on the music as the team entered, Nick? Jump Around. Did they really play Jump Around? Oh, right.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. And to be honest, my biggest gripe is not to play music for scores. let the crowd, because we've got so many songs, I found over the years the PA was always drowning the singing out or disrupting the singing.
Yeah.
Tic-tackle on Foxy. Let's have a look here.
Here's a question for you, Nick.
Right.
Right. You're talking about songs, you know, right, and the crowd singing. The way things are, right, you see it in all games, all stadiums all over the world. They play, you know, chart music, anything which is, you know, popular, right?
Yeah.
In, say, 20, 30 years, you'd be going to the game. Will the kids of today know all the songs? What do you think? Do you think they'll know all the songs
Well,
we are
this is
used
the
to?
problem,
You know,
that there's a gap. This is why the gap is happening, is because the PA is playing these the normal songs, and those songs can be played anytime, right? But during the game, if you don't allow the fans, how did we learn those songs? Are those songs from our era? No. Right? I was born
we learned them through generations.
Yeah, I was born in 1972, okay? I first stood on Tanner Bank in Stradi when I was about 17, okay? Now, I didn't know all those songs at that point. It was only through the years of standing on the terrace, going to away games and standing with Scarlet fans and hearing them sing, right? That's where I learned them. Now,
yeah, same here.
So if you're going to, and they play, I mean, all right, they played for the score there now, they played a Mao Heed, but the crowd weren't involved in that. And the youngsters there today weren't involved in singing that, right? So they need to cut the music for scores.
Oh, Will Griff could be in trouble here. Do you know, for me, right? I'll never forget my first. I sort of have forgotten it. My first ever Scarlets game. I was a youngster in school. We were giving out. I remember Fran O'Bortiga came to do a skills session in Bryn Sherfell School.
Right.
He gave out some tickets, and I went down with my friends. And I remember, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I remember hearing everybody singing Sosban Fach. Now, I was in a Welsh school, so I knew what the words meant.
Right.
And I remember sitting there thinking, this song doesn't make any sense. No. Well, what the hell is this?
It's a nonsense song. That's you know, like Oasis. A lot of Oasis' songs are nonsensical. They don't actually make any themed sense. They're quite contradicting within each sentence of the lyric. You know? I can't sing it now. I'm not going to sing Oasis now because we get copyright straight.
You'd be right singing it.
I don't know, mate.
Take it away, Nick.
Slip inside. No, I'm not going to do it.
No, but I just remember thinking, it's a weird song. It's nonsense. Doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
But then over the years, I started to understand it. I had my sister and, you know, my brother, obviously, they were going to the games long before I started going. And they explained to me, this is our club song, boy. This is how, this is what we sing down here.
Yeah. And I
got into them.
It's the emblem of the town with regards to the saucepan, but the song isn't about anything about the town or the fact that we produced saucepans all over the world, right? From stamping. The song is nothing to do with that. The song is just depicting a chaotic home and a housewife that is singing that song in that she's going crazy because everything's happening all at once and she can't take any more, basically. And it depicted the Industrial Revolution and the wartime and what it was like for a housewife at that time, with children, food cooking, boiling over, young boys growing up, going off to war when they were only, the other day they were only a little kid and now they're going off to war, and they were saying goodbye to them.
You can see Amber's brother Tom in the background there in the stand watching the game.
No, I wasn't. I took my eye off it.
He was there with his big knee brace.
Well, on that subject, Chris, obviously there's a few new viewers in here today, especially from South Africa. So we've got a player who is Tom Phillips, who had a bad injury last week. He was released last season and they brought him back the start of this season, and in his first game he's had a nasty injury against Edinburgh. And this is actually, Tom Phillips is actually Chris's sort of brother-in-law. And
Yep.
Amber was in the chat. She is his sister. So there's one of our Scarlet players' sister is in the chat here with us. But we haven't had an update yet. So do you want to give the guys viewing the exclusive on Tom Phillips?
The inside scoop, is it?
Oh, bad scrum.
So, that's a bad scrum. Yeah. So basically, his foot got planted up in that awful pitch up in Edinburgh last week. That I hate them pitches.
Yeah.
And someone came in, cleaned him out, and basically he couldn't move his leg. So he told me he looked down, all he could see was his knee was facing the back, was facing his other leg, basically. Right. His knee had moved, come out of position, and was on the side of his leg.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Yeah, so he's had a scan and things. I believe he's having surgery on Tuesday. But it's looking like a long layoff, like a 9-month, I think. Depends how he rehabs. And how he heals.
Yeah, I mean, thoughts go out for a speedy recovery to him and a comfortable one. And let's hope he can get back playing, hopefully, to the same standard, that it doesn't affect him moving forward once he has healed. Because he's had desperate misfortune with injuries. So all our thoughts go out to him. I'm just going to pop over. Obviously, we did do a poll before the game in the chat. Currently, I haven't ended it yet, so it isn't too late to jump into the poll to give your thoughts on what will happen. Don't feel I was being sort of dismissive of the Lions. I only had 4 options to choose from. So I've just basically given a score differential with the Scarlets, put the draw in, but then just Lions to win by whatever margin. Going on, it's 17-3 now. No, I haven't actually voted myself in it. I made the poll and I haven't voted. But currently, 43% of the votes have gone for the Scarlets to win by 20 points. 17% say we will win by 21 or more points. And 4% have gone for the draw. And 35% of you have gone for a Lions win. So there's a good contingent of people wanting the Lions to win, or think at least that the Lions are going to win here. There's a good break here now and a good bit of pressure from the Scarlets. Let's see what they can do with this. Because they've been sort of defending for a little while here now. There's Tommy Rogers, does the right thing, takes it in. The power from a youngster, but he's had the ball ripped.
Oh, unlucky.
But did you see good power from him there?
Good leg drive, yeah.
Really on. Steph Evans could take a leaf out of his book there.
Good hit, Blade. So it's got to be a turnover here, surely.
What is this music? Oof. What music, Jace? Is there music playing, is there?
Also, Nick, I believe you have a little job to do on the scoreboard. Get up there and put the numbers in, boy. The Lions penalty.
Oh, Lions penalty, right, okay.
I just got visions, going in the back door of the scoreboard down Stradi, climbing up a ladder and...
He's moaning about the music. He's always finding something to moan at. He's found the music to moan at this week. So, we need you to be more specific, Jace, and tell us what about the music don't you like?
Renia, good night, gents. Until next time at LS Park. Well, thank you for coming in, buddy. Please drop a like and a subscribe and a follow for us. We're always welcoming you when we play you in the return fixture. Obviously, we will be here. You're welcome to join us for a chat. Keep in touch with us as well, buddy, if you're down the game yourself when we play you out there.
Definitely.
We'd love to have you jump in with us on a video call or something.
Yeah, it's open for we'll be setting up some Zoom calls where we want fans to come on with us and chat with us for like a post-match reaction. If any of you that are in here fancy that, no matter where you're from, doesn't matter. So if you've got the ability to get onto Zoom, then we can set it up and we'll put your Zoom capture. Because that's how we're doing it basically. We're using Zoom and cropping the camera and putting it onto the software to stream. So it's all pretty basic really. It's easy enough. We'll sort all that out anyway. Absolutely. And if it goes wrong, we'll blame Jason Palmer.
What's Hey, what's everyone's thoughts on the? I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but we do have a slight new look around our webcams and
Oh, it's a break.
just
Sorry to
behind the
interrupt.
scoreboard.
Rob Evans up
Carry
the
on,
middle
pal.
here. He's taking it in. The
Do you know
ruck needs
what?
to get in there. That's a good steal. He
That's a
had.
very
It is.
powerful turnover.
Yeah, because there was forwards arriving at force, and that guy was determined. Who is it? Number
He
4.
was.
Who's number 4 for them? That was impressive. In that, to get back there, to get in there before the ruck formed, and then to stay there was brave, because he had forwards coming in on his back and his shoulders while he was prone. But in fairness, I think he's got himself isolated a bit there, Rob did. But in fairness, the forwards got there. But that was a cracking turnover.
It's just really good body position. Extremely good body position there.
Yeah. Almost pinched, but the scrum half has a bit of a stumble, which allows our defence to just gain a half yard and hit them just behind the gain line, which we benefited from the slip of the scrum half there.
Going back to that greasy pitch we were talking about earlier, the scrum half took a sizable slip.
Yeah. Now then. Oh, side entry. And this is poor. And 10 metres as well. Walk back. Not good, boys. These are things that, when we're up against the Leinsters of the world, they're going to punish us. No disrespect to the Lions, but we've got Leinster and Munster on the horizon. We've got to put a marker down here. Score-wise, we're doing okay, right? But we're making a lot of silly errors that shouldn't be happening, okay? Hopefully in time, we can iron these things out and settle down. It is a brand new coaching team, and it is a lot of players coming back from injury and re-signing with Scott and things like this. Our halfbacks are quite raw. That's over the top. No, we should be up on that, but he split it forward, luckily for us. Scott needs to tidy this up. No silly
Good job,
errors
Scott Williams.
now. Is that... we've got a replacement on there. Is that Morgan Jones has come on?
That's a poor kick. Oof, Jesus.
He's erratic so far this season, Hardy, isn't he? He played well up in Leicester.
It's like something's bothering him, isn't it?
It's interesting.
I don't know.
Because he was in great form leading up to... I tipped him to go on the Lions tour and to become Test Lion, right? The form he was in the Six Nations and for the Scarlets last season. But something's not right since he's had that injury and he didn't go to the Lions on the Lions tour. Ryan Elias takes it at the back. There's a long throw. Scarlets working out for field, and there's a long kick now deep into it. It's fielded by the Lions fullback or wing. I'm not sure. He's quite elusive. He always manages to evade the first tackle. But that's a good turnover penalty there from the Scarlets. At least we're competing now. And it's taken quickly, and Kieran Hardy is trying to get away there, but not from the mark. So we're going to go back.
About 5 yards in front of it.
And luckily it was because he was snagged and isolated. If the referee played on then, we were in trouble. Bristol 8, Bath 10 is the latest score from Ashton Gate, I think they're playing at now, isn't it?
That's correct, yeah.
Scores.
Big Hurricane Sam stepping up, take the points.
Yeah, and...
Always take them points, boys. Always take them.
And I know we're way behind because the URC site is saying the score already. But they're saying Connacht 10, Vodacom Bulls 7 so far as well. Those are the only 2 games on tonight. Tomorrow we've got a big local derby, Ospreys against Cardiff Rugby. Now, but we did want to put this out to you guys while you're all in here. We would like to stream that from Castle Grayskull, right? The URC site has got this wrong as well, right? I'm going to do the scoreboard in a minute, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. But they're saying Liberty Stadium, but it's actually Swansea.com, or as I like to call it, synthetic.com now. It's changed its name. But for tomorrow, I think the fitting name should be Castle Grayskull, shouldn't it? Yeah? I think that's fitting, really. Castle Grayskull is where the Ospreys play. But give us a shout out in the comments. Are any of you, would you be adverse to us streaming that game as a Scarlets channel? Why is Amber Phillips? No, Amber Phillips, are you talking about the South African prop that went off, or the hooker that went off, or are you talking about the Ospreys ground?
Wait there, haven't the Lions got a player whose name looks a lot like what Amber just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
And that's why I evaded myself from even trying to say it, because no matter how I tried to say that name, it's going to sound like the swear word, so I'm not going to say it.
Yes, there's only one way that's come out either way.
There's a family channel, and 4 children as well, because I tell you what, I've been amazed from the feedback so far. I don't know how you've been. And it's half time, so I am just going to update the score. But before I do, I've been amazed by the feedback we've had, both online, over Twitter, but also bumping into people in town. I've suddenly,
yes,
I can't even go to Jenkins to have a pasty in peace, where I've got people, I mean, they're not asking for autographs, but I can tell in their eyes, so I just give it to them.
Yeah, that's what they're after.
I'm joking, by the way, right? No, but what I'm on about is, I have actually had a couple of people I know stop me and say that they're enjoying it, which really, I'm glad, because I've been very, very careful not to sort of make this about either of us, really. This is something I want more people involved with. I want a team of us that are happy to get involved.
Yep.
To do like away games, and all sorts of different content throughout the week, Scarlets wise, but also generating, branching outwards to general rugby as well. Amber says, I haven't got your autograph, Speedy, not good enough really. Next time no. Yeah, to touch on what you said there, Nick, right.
My Amber and I's good friend Steph came up to me in town.
Right.
One day last week, and she said, "How's it going?" She said, "Chris, I'm sick of seeing you on my TV." I said, "What are you on about?" She goes, "Jaden, my boy, he can't stop watching your Scarlet Fever TV stuff. Every time you live, he can't get enough of it." So thank you for that, Steph. Jaden, if you're watching, boy, hope you're having a good night. The Scarlets are currently winning 20 points to 6. Everyone's happy right now, right?
Brilliant. And yeah, I've got a couple of nieces, and they've been saying the same. They like the Scarlets, but they're not like rugby fans. They just enjoy the memories. When I've taken them to the Scarlets games, they liked playing in the barn and on the rides and having the sweets and
that's it.
And the general buzz around the match day is a family atmosphere. So, but once they saw Scarlets are on and that I was doing it and things like that, obviously I'm their uncle, and it was like, you know what I mean, they've been watching it in the background.
I got you.
It's been on loop for the baby and stuff. Which I always thought about that, you know, the best YouTube, if I could have created one thing on YouTube, it would have been Peppa Pig. Because the amount of parents, now I was witnessing this when I was painting and decorating for people in their houses, and when you're a tradesman and you go into someone's house, you get an insight into, you know, you work in a way, but you are sort of noticing traits of what people do in their everyday life. And if they got young children, they would sort of like put the young child there with a bit of food in the chair, and they put it in front of the TV and put Peppa Pig on, and it's just on loop. And when you look at the figures for like Peppa Pig and things like this, and anything with slime, you look at that on YouTube, it's in like billions. It's not millions of hits, it's billions, because they're constantly played over and over again. So yeah, we missed a trick, pal. Maybe we need to...
Maybe we should... Scarlet Fever TV, baby soothing.
Well, I'll tell you one idea I've had for a while. Plus I shouldn't say it live because we haven't done it yet. Slime. All my nieces and every kid I see at the moment, you mention slime them, they love it. They want to make it in the kitchen with a mixing bowl and shampoo and glitter and whatever else goes into it. I'd love to try it myself, but it's like, perhaps we should do it at half time sometime.
Give it a bash, 100%. Are we going to... Wait, what's the plan, Nick? Are we going to drop our big announcement now or what?
Oh, right. Well, I was gonna say one thing. We've got the children in mind, right? Talking about that. We do want to do some stuff once we start going to the ground, getting some families interviews and focusing on the children. But we're going to make a designated Scarlet Fever TV, but on TikTok, because that's where all the kids are. We're going to use that platform for this channel's icon. We're going to make an account there and we're going to start that up as part of it, where it's going to be just for the children's sort of level of fun things. So if you've got anything you want to film your children sort of like cheering the Scarlets and things like that, send them in to us and we'll use that footage and put it up there on that channel then. Just a way to have shout outs for fans basically, isn't it? And
yeah.
So right, the big announcement that Chris is talking about. Right then, are you all in here and are you all listening? All say yes in the chat. Are you all listening?
Or just nod your head.
Or just nod your head. No, I want a yes in the chat or a thumbs up in the chat, right? He's on TikTok too, probably watching that. Right then. Basically, one of our Amber says yes. Well, you're in the next room to Chris. We know that.
She already knows what the announcement is.
And she already knows the announcement. Right, we've got a big announcement,
I was sat
guys.
next to her last night when I had the message.
We've got a big announcement. And it's one of the things that we envisaged for this channel right from the outset. And lo and behold, our very first attempt, literally within minutes of trying, succeeded, which blew our minds, right?
It wasn't even within minutes, mate. It was within a minute.
Within a minute of us approaching. And the idea basically we've had is one of the segments we want to use, especially during times where there's not many Scarlets games, is interviews with ex-players, especially those who we don't see much. You know, the local ones are different, you tend to see them and they're in the news being interviewed. But the ones that came from abroad, played for us a while, became cult heroes and then moved on and away again, and we haven't seen or heard from them for a long time. Me and Chris had this idea of maybe over Zoom interviewing them and having a chat, but making it live so that the fans can interact too and share and put their questions to these people. And out of the blue, the first one we tried, as Chris said earlier, within 1 minute of us asking him, said yes. Whenever you want.
And how excited he was for it.
And how excited he was, right? So I'm proud to announce that we haven't got a date properly pinpointed yet, because we've got to work out the time zones and when he is available, and then we'll have to tailor our working week around that. So it's going to take about 2 or 3 weeks of planning, but within about 2 or 3 weeks we will have, and it has been confirmed, he's willing to come on here via Zoom and chat with us and you guys, an interview with Di Hodges. He is going to be on Scarlet Fever, and you know, when Chris told me that he'd confirmed straight away, I was actually filled with a little bit of anxiety, because you know, when you've got an idea and you think, oh, this could work, this could be big, quite big, you know, and then it starts to work, and then all of a sudden, me as a co-presenter, it puts me in the spot where, oh, I got to do this interview with Di Hodges now, and I'm like, I'm scared. I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? I want to bring out the best of him. I want to ask the right questions. I don't want to make him feel awkward either. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's really given us excitement today and impetus where every week this channel is growing, and through you guys is the main thing. You're the ones driving it, the interest. You're feeding off that you're liking what we're producing, and it's spurring us on to each week do something new and different and take the channel to the next level. We've had a few sort of like ups and downs with regards technical issues, and obviously we've got to be careful what we're using, and we've had some issues with there. We've had to rethink a few things, and we will have to rethink a few of the designs we're doing for like thumbnails and things like that moving forward, because there might be an issue with that. But the channel will remain, and we've committed to not going away. We both live a stone's throw away from the ground, and we could have quite easily gone there because it's nice weather there tonight as well. But we thought it's not nice to have a gap in the live streams when it's starting to build momentum. So that's our big announcement for now. We haven't made any big sort of song and dance on social media about it yet. Until we confirm times, we will be releasing a lot of sort of bigger announcements about the interview, about when it's going to be, and so forth. We also have the idea from that is in future it might be an idea, 2 ex-players that maybe we get them both in for a reunion with us, so that there's me, Chris, and 2 players. That would be a good concept. Then our minds really went out there then, and we started thinking, wouldn't it be great to get people like Eddie Butler and Alfie on a Zoom call together and put it out live? Let's have a chat, boys. How's things? Still talking? You know what I mean? Another one I thought of would be Mike Hall, Ian Evans, and Anthony Copsey. That'd be a good one. Right. Put your suggestions in the chat. Who would you love to see us interview in the chat, and maybe tag them in on Twitter or what have you, to tell them that you'd love to see them on Scarlet Fever TV on an interview. I think this is the perfect one for a start, because from the messages we've had and the response we've had from Dave Hodges, he was genuinely humbled that we thought of him, and he is going to be the first one that we do, because we're hoping to make this ongoing then. Well, Amber, I was actually in the same class in school in Graig as Scott Cornell, but I didn't want to just go straight for that, and so I wanted to do one just genuine first, and then he can see then, and I'm asking, and one day I'm hoping maybe he will. He does remember, if he remembers me from school, I don't know. I was annoying, perhaps he's trying to forget me, I don't know. But so the second half starting off now on that note. But Scott, yes, I would love to have Scott on here, because he's someone that can tell a few stories, I'm sure. About
the only issue is though, Nick.
Yeah.
Mr. Big Shot, Sky Sports, Scott Quinnell. Can we afford him?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure his fee would be massive.
I can tempt him, right? I've seen him enough times in the coffee pot, right?
There we are. Offer him a big break.
Yeah, he's a man of flesh, Scott is still. I tell you one thing I will say for Scott, right? In that, despite all what he's done and achieved, if he sees, not just me, other people he knew from school, if he sees us in town, he will never walk past without saying hello, and he will instigate it. If he notices you, he'll say hello and wave, and he'll recognise you. And to be honest, I've always, a couple of times I walked past him in town and I'm like, I won't say it here because I don't want to just make it look as if I'm being some kingy or whatever. I got this thing with anyone that's famous.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it here, make it look as if I'm only saying it to them because they're famous, But he is reversing that. He will approach you. If he knows you, he'll approach you. He's very humble guy. And I'm not just saying that because I want him to come on and give an interview. I when the time is right, and when I think he's got a bit of time spare, I'll ask him. If he's busy, he's busy. I'll respect that. There's no problem. And the same goes for anyone we ask. If they can't do it for any reason, don't worry. We're not. We understand. At the end of the day, and if there would be anything we could do to help someone come on the channel, if they've got issues that they can't make it, or we'll try to accommodate them. We could pay them in Monopoly money or something. I don't know. But,
I just can't believe the audacity on you, Nick, to be honest with you. To try and walk past the great Scott Quinnell. What the hell's wrong?
It wasn't that I was this is it.
I'm joking,
was that
man.
No, exactly. It was that weird thing. It was like, I want to say hi to him, but I don't want to sort of make it look when you're in public. Whenever we've been in the coffee pot or the Willow, any of the cafes in town, it's always in cafes I seem to see him as well.
Loves his Boyd.
We all love our Boyd. Yeah.
Funny you're saying that. I remember my mother, she used to work a number of years ago now. I was a kid. I was only about 13, 14.
Yeah.
I think Scott was still playing then first. And she had a little job in the China kitchen in Wellinghall. Opposite the co-op there. Yeah, so she was on the desk there and stuff.
Very well.
And she said to me, she came home one night, she goes, I served Scott Quinnell and Derek tonight, boy. They both came in. Right. I said, all right. She was saying, they were having a family meal, so all of them, all the boys and all the kids and wives or what have you. She said, guess how much I spent, boy? I said, how much? £530, she said.
Wow. They must have a
the Quinnells eat big.
They have a party as well. And how many's in the family though? There's a good few in the family. They must have been having an event or something.
200 that had to be there. Craig's alone, surely.
They probably had Craig over visiting. Or
normally
Gavin,
they spend 20 quid.
Visiting. He's the biggest.
Normally they only spend 30 quid.
Well, Gavin's the biggest, is he? Is Gavin the biggest, the youngest one?
I think he's definitely in terms of height, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember him taking the trash out, playing against Worcester?
Yeah,
or playing against Gloucester. I love watching that video.
Just a quick score update. Connacht are now leading the Vodcom Bulls by 15 points to 7. Let's have a look at the other. It's half time. Bristol 8, Bath 15 in the other game as well. Right.
Not everyone can beat Bath, I guess.
Well, this is it, isn't it? So, Scarlets, Rob Evans making a little bust up here. He's almost going to be turned over again, but he manages to have enough time to set the ball back. Good hands by Scott Williams. McNichol out to Dan Davis. McNichol goes in, jackals the ball. Has help from John Davis, I think it was. Kieran Hardy out to Will Griff-John. He sets the ball back up. Recycle. Kieran Hardy, and that's a pass that was behind Sam Cuslow, but it's worked out for Tommy Rogers. He could go all the way on his own. He's beating man after man. Now he set it back up. It's under the post.
Set.
Go nice. Right. Sione Calmafoni takes it on again. We recycle. It's going right. Missed move. Out to Scott Williams. Almost managed to put McNichol away, but it comes back left through Price. He sets it up again. McNichol playing scrum half. Feeds it out. And there's a 1-2 with Kieran Hardy. And they've just either sealing off or going beyond the ruck, I think. Was it Ryan Elias? There was one of the scramblers
beyond the ruck there
and took a player out. But that was
it's good build up.
Play, though. Quite good play in that. And what I liked about that, we were starting to, I want to see us be more physical before we try to play. Because we're falling into this trap of trying to throw the ball out before we've done any hard yards.
Yeah. And
it's basic stuff, isn't it? Isn't a score update? Connacht are 17-7. That doesn't seem right because they were 15-7. Unless it's taken a while to put the conversion up. It must have taken that long. The wind is that strong that it's taken that long for the conversion to go over.
Yeah.
There was a video.
I'm still here.
Yeah, that's right. There was a video on Twitter, I think it was earlier. Somebody had filmed the weather in Galway this afternoon, and it was atrocious. But it was about the same as what we were having yesterday and the day before, to be honest.
Galway is a place.
Well,
I remember seeing a video of a conversion being taken there, and the ball went through the uprights and blew straight back to him again.
Yeah. I've actually got a B&B book there still from 3 years ago that I still can't get to. 2 years ago, sorry. I booked to ride the motorcycle over by ferry to go watch Scarlets play Connacht, and I booked a B&B in Galway. And as I was about to leave, there was storms and they cancelled all the ferries. So I rang the B&B up to cancel it, and they basically said, well, it's up to you. Would you rather we just keep your booking for when you can come here? I was like, yeah, to be honest, it was such a good deal. It was only like 20 quid for 2 nights. It was crazy, right? It was booking.com, one of his offers, right? So I thought, I'll just leave it there. So I've got a B&B booked, and that's all I'm going to do is ring them up when I'm ready to go there, basically. So I don't know when we're playing Connacht away, or if we are this season.
Well, we will be, yeah.
But and that was, you know, that was the start of, there was that fell through. There was another holiday I booked that fell through. I've tried loads of different things in the last 3 years, and then we had the pandemic, obviously. Even after the pandemic, this summer I was supposed to go away. I was supposed to go to Spain, but it fell through. A load of things happening, and I'm hoping December, January, I'm going to try and go away. I want to ride down to Bordeaux in January for our game there, and
nice trip,
and document by mobile, document and film. Take the laptop with me and do some channel updates while I'm out there. Basically, I'm from the ground. I don't know what your plans are going to be for that game.
I probably a little bit out of my limit because I'm going away in May and August there next year. So, we don't know. We'll see what happens.
Freddie, I'm just going to acknowledge, because sorry, he did comment earlier. Freddie Clark said, as a Tigers fan, like the channel boys. Thank you, Freddie. I presume you've probably been aware of us from when we did the Tigers game, is it? But it's nice to have you in here as a neutral. It's always nice to have plenty of people in here. And
absolutely,
like I said, Tigers doing well this season. We've been keeping an eye on them because it was a good gauge to see how Tigers did against other teams. And the one we want to see is how Tigers do against Bristol, because we've got Bristol in our European group, obviously. And Bristol are not doing great so far, so I can't see why the standard Tigers are playing at the moment. They probably would be favourites for that game, home or away. So, yeah. So, what we got? So, there's a change. Will Griff is being replaced by Samson Lee. Not a bad replacement to have, as they say. Sorry to coin a phrase.
Absolutely.
We were chatting so much.
Good line out, clean.
I forgot to go for my ritual cup of tea. And you know what that means, don't you?
You're making it, are you?
No. It means I haven't got my power cherry bakewell for this game.
Which you better go get
a bit of a thing last week. Didn't do us any good, though, did it?
Almost.
I'm worried, like, if it does work, people are going to try, when they see me in the street, they're going to be trying to ram cherry bakewells in my throat, force feeding them to me, just so that the Scarlets can win.
You'll be walking past us there, mate.
I know, innit?
And someone will stop you. Hey, come in here with me. Hold my hand and stuff a cherry bakewell in your mouth where by a scratch card.
Exactly. You know that scene, The Grinch, when he's in the chair of cheer?
Oh, yeah. This guy's dangerous.
Is that all you got? Oh, no. Here come the Lions then. They got a bit of possession here. They're looking to try and find some gaps. It might be a bit of a better tackling from the Scarlets. And there's a turnover. Oh, what are you doing, Kieran?
Jesus, Kieran Hardy.
The penalty there. That was a poor choice from Kieran there. The break was on for him to take it a bit further and then give the pass. He's trying a fancy pass, and that wasn't on.
I think Kieran Hardy's pass was fine. Yeah, it was a deliberate knock on. If that had gone, Steph would have been away.
Yeah.
Steph's calling for the yellow card there.
We'd be all saying nickname changing from Speedy to Cherry Bakewell. Now, Phil, you're putting ideas into the chat room's heads now, aren't you? Huh? I'll change my avatar to a cherry bakewell. If we get the bonus point win, we've got 2 tries so far. So if we get the bonus point win, I'll tell you what I'll do next week. Where it says Nick on my webcam, I'll change it to a cherry bakewell. Okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Not quite as adventurous as
Oh,
Gary Lineker doing it in his pants.
Nigel Owens is criticising you. He didn't think I was a penalty, and he didn't think it was even a knock-on. Well, thank goodness Nigel Owens is no longer refereeing us. That's all I can say. Because we've suffered him for years. And Nigel, if you're listening, I'm quite happy to have you on the channel and discuss it. You've been you're the world's best referee, but never for us. You've always had, because you're from Pontevedra, man, it's not your fault, Nigel, and I know you can't hear me now, but I don't know. But you should never have been put in a position to referee or have any involvement in any of our games. But that shows there, you know, there's times where you get it woefully wrong, Nigel. If you think that wasn't a deliberate knock-on, then there's no hope for you. And thankfully you've got a career in media and don't have to rely on refereeing anymore. Someone stop me, boys. This is the problem.
Calm down now.
I know, calm down.
I got a little surprise for you, Nick.
Oh, heck. I've heard this before.
You ready for this?
And it never went well before. Yeah.
You ready for this? Keep an eye on my webcam, right?
There we are.
Yeah.
Hey, we might get done for advertising.
Yeah, better change it now. Oh.
Connacht 22, Bull 7. So, Connacht there showing, and Connacht struggled against Cardiff, to be honest. So it's interesting that there's a big step up that these South African sides are going to face. But obviously they have all got their internationals to come back, but so have the rest of the teams.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen in the chat, do you? Maybe Phil has issued you a bit of a challenge here. Look, he said up the ante, double of the Ospreys this year, and you get a cherry bakewell tattoo.
I wouldn't get a tattoo anymore, but I'm too old for tattoos.
I would do it.
Would you? You'd have a cherry bakewell tattoo?
Yeah, why not?
And anyway, the problem is
it's a good story behind it.
I can't do it because you've made a drastic error there. It's not the cherry bakewell, right? Let's get it right. It's a power cherry bakewell, okay? It's the effect of the bakewell is strong in me, okay? When it's in me.
Hey, I got something new for you, right? How about this, right? I'll take this one for you, Nick, right? Because you don't fancy a tattoo. If we do the double of the Ospreys, I will get a tattoo of a cherry bakewell, but instead of a round cherry, I'll have a Scarlets badge-shaped cherry in the middle of it.
You get I got the definitive one.
Go on then. Lay it on me.
If you have the tattoo of that, but it's the SFTV logo, right? And we change the SFTV logo, we put the cherry on it with the icing on the top.
There we are. I'll do it. If you do the double over the filth this year, the Ospreys this year, I'll do it. No problem at all. I'll get a cherry bakewell tattoo on my body somewhere.
We didn't have a lot of response, so I presume you're all okay with us streaming the Ospreys Cardiff game on tomorrow evening. Either myself and Chris will do it, depending on his availability. I'm not sure what you've got planned.
Nothing, I think.
Also,
I'm not sure
there is the issue. Now, this used to be a channel that we rebranded. This was my channel that I rebranded as the Scarlets only channel. Now, the issue that we have now is I used to do other videos for football and motorcycling as well. So, right now, I haven't got another outlet to be able to do football watch-alongs and things like that. But I do know that there's a lot of rugby fans out there that do like football as well. That's a good play there. Yeah, definitely. Sam Costello playing very well. He could be, so far, what do you think, he's up in the running for being man of the match? There's been a bit of a shift in the polls here, in that there's been a shift in this poll we've got running. I've just noticed it's gone down. Scarlets 0 to 20 has gone down, and the Scarlets 21 plus has gone up. So people are edging a bet here as they're seeing things
Cashing
go on
out.
here. Yeah, obviously. So, but the Lions to win has stayed the same. It's just that a lot more people have shifted. It was unanimous. Scarlets 0 to 20.
Oh, Jesus.
We've got no mistakes here now.
I thought Shawnee was going to put leather to the boot there, and leather. I'm talking about the boot to ball.
There's a mention here. Phil Manger says, or Manger. I'm not sure how to pronounce your surname, because we all know you as Pancho, Phil. Right? So, but he says Costello to start against New Zealand for Wales. In a word,
I wouldn't have any issues. Actually, I would have issues with that.
No,
either was.
he's only just finding his feet at this level. To put him in
Oh,
against
look at
New
this
Zealand
guy. Oh,
would be a bit crazy. I think Jared Evans is going to be fit, hopefully, and I think they'll have to go with him. What's bigger? Is Bigger injured?
he's not available for the first game because of the it's out of the international window.
Ah, of course. Right. Okay. So,
isn't Priestland starting for the Blues?
Well, they both had head knocks. They were concussed in the first minute.
No, Jared took that knee to the sternum, didn't he?
Oh, no, this is it. Yeah, well, Reese is out now with concussion.
I'm pretty sure I've seen somewhere that Priestland is starting for the Blues.
Oh, he must be all right then.
Sorry,
Is
Cardiff Rugby.
there in the crowd taking notes? Well, this is it as Manger, right? Well, as Phil Manger says about Costello maybe starting against New Zealand, well, Wayne Pivac seems to have perked up there. Perhaps it's because he's enjoying and he's thinking of picking Steph Elves for once. Can you see what I did there? Huh?
Yeah, we are. Let me have a look here. Priestland is starting.
Oh, well, I would think they'll go with him then. If there's injuries, they'll go with Priestland, I would have thought. And probably Jared on the bench.
Who have they got on the bench tomorrow? They got Ben Thomas and Matthew Morgan on the bench for them tomorrow. The whatever they're called these days, right. The Cardiff.
And just to let the people in the chat know, we are going to be doing the internationals as well. We're going to try and come up with a different flavour of show, to something to do in the build-up and for the games. But we're not quite sure what yet. But if you like it as it is, the format, then we'll stick to what it is.
Iranadi's off.
That's quite early in the game to take
Iranadi considering off. It's not put to bed quite yet.
And considering that Dane Black, he's got good bits to his game. Oh, he's a good breaker. Oh, he looks like he's over. Oh, good tackle.
That's a very good tackle.
We'll do well if they don't score here. If we keep them out here, we'll have done well.
I agree.
Advantage penalty coming. Not rolling away by the looks of it, but they're over. Oh no. Wow.
That's a great bit of defence there.
And he's knocked it.
I don't know what that was, but
that was a knock on.
It came off a boot, I think.
Yeah, but it came out in his hands. Surely. He had it in his hands and then he dropped it. Then it hit another player. Then it hit our player. Wow.
Oh, that's tremendous defence.
They're showing good resilience here over a couple of phases. Anyway, that's good. I understand the penalty is fair enough, but then they could have quite easily given up there. I'm yet to be convinced with John the Fox as a captain. He's not vocal enough for me on the pitch.
Well, can you tell that from watching on a box?
I just
I can't know, to be honest with you.
No, I can hear him over in the background with the ref's mic. So let's have a look here. Good defence again so far. We need to get out of there now. John Davis needs to ask it. He's lucky. He was a little bit late getting out of there.
He's been allowed a little bit of leeway, I think, there by the referee. A lot would have blown for that straight away.
Doing okay so far. They made good ground there. That's
powerful forwards.
It's not poor. What I'm just saying is it's a shame that we're doing well so far, though. What we need to do is win a couple of metres back in the contact. He was close, though. They've been as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Hold him up.
Oh, that's great defence once again.
Oh, don't give anything silly away there now. There's no need.
Counter again.
Yeah, at least
disrupt it a little bit.
Messy.
That's hell. Oh.
And they're going to go right here because Steph is there. Oh, no. Steph is on his own there. Let's try. Yeah, no, well worked, well deserved.
Oh, that looks held up to me, mate.
No, they did well.
I don't know, man.
Because in fairness, like I can take that when a side has to work that hard to score against us.
Yeah, that'll suck a lot of life for them as well as us a little bit, but. I don't think that's down. Or maybe there. Let's have a look at this. That ain't down. Oh, no, it is. Okay.
I love that. And, this is what live TV does to you, see?
That's right.
Destroys your soul.
And a conversion as well. 20 points to 13. We got a bit of a game there, Hans. A little exciting finish.
Yeah. And excuse me. I can hear the commentators here loving the fact that to criticise us. I mean, we criticise ourselves. We don't need you lot to do it. Yes, I agree. Better from the Lions. Good to see as well, because we don't want to see teams coming in. Obviously with the Cheetahs and the Kings, when they came in, they were hit and miss.
Yeah.
And some games there was a clear disparity. Whatever team we see, no matter whether they've got internationals or not, you want to see a competitive game. Oh, here we go. They've got another break here now.
Well done, Scott Williams. Well done, Sams.
They're playing a good game here. They're giving us a lot to think about. Oh, good hit.
Good hit. They're no mugs, are they? Look at Shawnee. He just doesn't stop, does he?
No, but
great turnover.
In fairness, this is opening up into an enjoyable game here now. In that the Lions are, bringing things, causing us issues. Because there was times in the past seasons, the Cheetahs and the Kings, they were too easy to play against.
Yeah.
These are offering more. You can see they're offering more. Let's not forget the travelling involved for them. They've been away. They're on like a massive tour where they go through and they play all the European teams and then they go back home basically. And even their home team games now, they're looking at playing them in Italy because of the situation with regards being able, our players having to quarantine. If they go to South Africa, they'd have to quarantine when they come back. So they're on about the South African teams playing their home games in Italy, which from my point of view, yeah, obviously it's an advantage to the
Good
the
kick, Sam.
sides, the European sides. But from my point of view, there's an away game there that possible that I couldn't have got to, but suddenly I can. You know what I mean? If I wanted to. If I wanted to go to watch
Lions away in Italy.
Scarlets play against the South African side, the fact that now it's going to be in Italy allows a few away fans to maybe make that trip, you know?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm sure a few would have gone in a normal world, a few would have gone out to South Africa to watch as well, you know?
Yeah.
Nice little trip.
So that's a good kick there from that Costello.
A very good kick. Oof. Who the hell's this
guy?
Big
way. I thought Martin then for a minute.
From the neck down.
So scores on the doors so far. Scarlets 23. Llewod, the Lions 13.
The crowd are going wild about something.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened.
Big hit happened there. This boy is big, isn't he? Look at the size. That's not regular size shorts he's wearing there, is it? Huh?
He's not conditioned, surely.
He doesn't need to be, does he? Whatever he hits, he destroys. Let's have a look around the scores here.
He's a big old boy, isn't he?
7 Connacht leading the Bulls. And we've got Bristol 11, Bath 20 so far.
Some good games.
Oh,
here
he comes, look! Oof.
Jesus.
Oh, loose ball, Tommy Rogers feeds it to Johan Nicholas. Johan Nicholas floats a pass out. Oh,
Scarlets looking to go, are they?
And I tell you what, Dwayne Black, didn't know what he was doing there. He shaped the kick and then threw a huge looping pass out that bounced along the floor. But those bouncing passes sometimes can work in your favour. Now there's gaps here. Let's see if we can expose them a little bit. Dan Davis out to Tommy Rogers, makes a little bit of a breaker. A floating pass inside to Dwayne Blacker. He's going for the line. There's a high tackle, double hit. He tries to release the ball. It looked a high tackle. Tommy Rogers gets upset by Phil Price, I think, is that?
There's a card, yeah. Card dead, Millen.
Steph Evans looks to take a quick one. Pirouettes out of a possible tackle, but ref calls it back for a yellow card. I think that's the winger. Not familiar with the names of the Lions team right now. Give a couple of games and I will brush up, I promise, on these, but they're all new players to us at the moment.
Taking a shot.
Well, I understand that, to be honest, because they've just scored, so we do just want to keep that scoreboard ticking, because they've come back into the game, so I do get that. I support that, to take the punch here. What am I looking for?
Tommy Rogers, look at him. He's just delightful to watch.
Peter.
Oh, it's a shame.
Peter Blynount says, Lions never lay down. Go Lions. Well done, mate. Well done. It's good to see. Good to see positivity here. And they're giving a good account of themselves because, like, as we're aware, it can't be easy. The travelling. They've had a good win in Italy against Benetton or Zebra. I can't remember which ones they beat.
Zebra they played, I think.
Zebra they played last season. Last game, was it? In the first round. Which is good. I mean, that's good. Phil Manger says it should have been a penalty try.
Maybe I was thinking that as well.
Penalty tries, I don't like to see them being given straight away unless it is blatant knockdown with a floated pass to a guy that's about to go over the line. Then fair enough. But when they're like that, where there's a break and the player's tackled and then they're trying to get over the line, I'm thinking it's got to be repeated infringements for it to be a penalty try for me. But yeah, you're right.
If it's cynical in the act of scoring,
it would have been in. There was a couple of things there really that we could have scored from.
Jack Morgan on. No, sorry.
Oh, Dan Jones has replaced Costello.
Dan Jones.
So are we going to close shop here and tighten things up a bit, maybe? and go to our kicking game. There's gaps here for the Lions. Oh, silly. Didn't even look at the ref.
Yeah.
That's close to
You're
a
all
yellow,
prices,
right? That's
I mean.
close to a yellow, what he's done there. Coming in the side there, just picking that ball out. Because the ref hadn't said it was out. He should have waited for the ref to say it's out. And then, like, got to the ball and looked at the ref. Can I pick it up, ref? And he would have told him to get back then. Rupert Moon there in the crowd.
Rupert.
That would be a good one to get on.
He good looking man, Rupert is.
Jimmy Nail. Some say I got a bit of the moon going on with my nose, but oh, it's tapped back to
this thing's going all the way.
This massive prop forward that
He's a big old company. He's centre, Andy Good there, isn't this guys? He's a big old bus, isn't he? Bloody hell. I wouldn't fancy having a crack attack in mind. I bet there's some power behind him.
I know. You've got some big forwards on you now for this last 12 minutes.
They have, yeah.
And let's not forget they're a man down at the moment. And they take
hold him up, boys. Hold him up, boys.
Hold him up, that's it. Oh, it's to the floor, is it? Right, okay. That's it, fan out, don't get involved. No, he's got to be holding, but he did have hands on the floor while we're playing it. So. Oh, we're lucky to get away with that because
we are. I will take
the Jacqueline player put his hands on the floor beyond the ball first and then went back. Normally, that goes the other way. There's gaps here. Scott Williams sees the break. Good time for the pass.
Rolling back for you.
Nichols gives it to John Davis. He's got a man outside. Tommy Rogers for the second try. And if that isn't glorious, nothing is.
That's right.
And this is
beautiful score.
He scored 2 tries, but we still haven't seen what he can do yet because
we know
Tommy Rogers and guys from South Africa, if you're watching in here, keep an eye out for this boy Tommy Rogers. I know he hasn't done a lot to score these 2 tries tonight, but this kid has got it all. I mean, he hasn't had to do anything.
I'm a big fan.
But great to see. It's going to do his confidence well.
Scott Williams.
It's a shame for the Lions, but this was always the danger. They're a man down. They're trying to attack. They're obviously going to leave gaps for the counter attack then. But we needed that. This has been a good workout for us. The Lions have brought some good rugby, forced us into a lot of errors and in mistakes.
Yes, they have.
Which we needed. We need this. We need to see what's wrong with our game to be able to correct it. So, hats off to the Lions. Dan Jones on now with the kick to convert. It's drifting and it hits a post, so he misses.
Oh, unlucky Dan.
So home try goes up to 3. So one off for the bonus point win. Well, I say
you got 10 minutes, 9 minutes to get a bonus point in you, hopefully.
Oh, now here we go, look. It's Tommy Rogers once again who called the move. And I said this against Leicester, that he's doing these things that are above his age. He called the
he's got vision.
Try for against Leicester in the end, that won the game.
Yeah. For
Ryan Combier. It was Tommy Rogers who came into first phase and clapped his hands, said, I want the ball to stay. And we switched the move from left to right because Tommy Rogers demanded it. And then he executed it very well as well. So, brilliant. So, I tell you what we need to do as well. I was thinking about this, and I haven't had a chance to have a chat with you about it. What we need to do is make, ready for the next game, we need to make a yellow and a red card with a black outline, so we can put them on next to the names, so when there's a yellow card we can show that on the scoreboard as well, because we haven't got that facility
yet.
But we're always evolving and moving forward.
Every week is something new.
Line, boys.
It's
on again. Scott Davis looks. He always goes for that pass behind the back, and
it didn't need that there.
There was no need for it.
Hey, I just want to touch on what you said about the Lions and the South African teams. If they add something to competition, it's brilliant. I do think the Emirates Lions will claim a few scalps this season and a couple of big ones, I think.
When they get when they get the internationals back.
Yeah.
I did ask earlier, and I think it was taken the wrong way. And I asked earlier, one of the South African guys in here, how many are they missing? And he said all of them. I know they're all away with South Africa in the Rugby Championship, but how many short? How many internationals will come back into this team altogether to strengthen it into this Lions team? If there's anyone from the South African contingent still in here, could you let us know how many roughly have they got in the South African squad that will be coming back in to strengthen this Lions team?
They've got extremely powerful scrum. They have pretty much dismantled our scrum all game long.
Yeah, and we were having odd problems against Leicester as well. It's a good little half break from Johan Nicholas.
Yeah,
he's
good
unlucky.
ground.
Yeah, it wasn't Johan's fault. That was the players arriving. Poor form.
Blade, I think.
And they were doing it against Edinburgh, in fairness, as well. There was a few of them guilty of it. So a let-off for the Lions there, really, by our mistakes. But let's see what the Lions can do now to capitalise on this. They kick for the corner. Interesting that they're down to 14 men and they didn't take the points. They didn't go for the kick or goal. So they're looking for scores here. They've got a very positive outlook to the way they play, Lions.
Yeah, I quite like them, to be honest.
I do. So far,
they're definitely adding more than what we've been used to,
Yeah.
From the, to be fair, the Cheetahs had a few good wins and they had some moments of magic, but, and the Kings, to be honest, they should never have been in this league.
No, what I like as well is, if we're going to be, it's a good penalty here for the Scarlets. If these teams are going to come with good, strong forwards and scrums and good methods to their play and coaching, that's preparing our boys well for when they go into Europe and they're coming up against those big French packs. It's not so much of a step up then, because they're getting exposure to it in our league. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
So I think it's a good thing. Even if it's causing us problems, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's highlighting where we need to be better, and it's showing us how good we should be. You see the quality of the scrum from the opposition. It'll make us tighten up our set piece.
Of course,
it's all good.
Big Sione Calamafoni, man of the match.
Lions
well deserved. That's a bit risky. It's all right. I just tied it up.
15 men now, so we got 15v15. That looked forward to Dan Jones from Steph Evans. The ref and the touch judge seemed happy with it. It'd be interesting if we score from this. Will they go back to check it? But we've punched it up into midfield. Looked like it was going to be a turnover.
Well done, Sione.
Was it Sione? Yeah. I thought it was Blade Thompson. But they've given a penalty away, and a similar... There's lots of these silly penalties here where it's our fault, we've got the ball, we're attacking. It's not like we're under pressure and we're giving these silly penalties away. And it's all about basic ruck entry every time, isn't it? It's about body angles, it's about angles of entry, and it's catching us every time, and these are basic things that you don't expect schoolboys to make, right? You don't expect schoolboys to come in at the wrong angle to a ruck, let alone top professionals. Not straight. And this again, this is where you shouldn't be seeing it. You shouldn't be seeing this many crooked throws, crooked feeds into the line and stuff like this.
Not at professional level. So I say the same thing about football, right? When you see players putting a penalty over the bar. The amount of money they're getting paid, the amount of training they do, all this, they should be hitting the target from a penalty every single time.
Yeah. Was a comeback
you know what I mean?
on from Bristol, Bristol 18, Bath 20. So it's a real humdinger again. Well, obviously that's a local derby there. So they were never going to lie down for that one, were they?
No chance. Only time I've ever seen a team lay down in the local derby is when we beat Ospreys 44-0.
Oh, that was lovely, wasn't it? They went
I will stop having digs, I promise.
They call them the O's for short, don't they? The Ospreys. They went from being the O's to the Zeros.
I call them something completely different. I do. It sounds like Ospreys, but it begins with a T.
And Peter Blineout is giving us an update there. Connacht 29, Bulls 7. Quite worrying result there for the Bulls, but we do know, and if you don't know in South Africa what it's like in Galway at this time of year, we've got a hurricane coming in off the Irish Sea. It's not a pleasant place to play rugby in Connacht. Oh, there's a break here by Steph. Could he go all the way? He looks like he's got the pace. He got two men dragging him down, but he gets there. Oh,
beautiful score, boys.
And the old adage, you can't defend pace. But
you can't.
The problem is, don't just rely on pace. You need power as well. But that was good. Lions will be disappointed with that though, because they've just gone back up to a full complement of 15 men. Is this?
Yeah, it's just a big gap midfield here. Watch this.
First phase? Oh, that's a big gap.
Glaring.
Oh, that's a big gap, and he didn't have to be asked twice. And he's done well to finish it though, because he had three men on him in the end, where two were dragging him down, and then another one came in at the end.
Yeah, that's just their shines, and that's his bread and butter there, isn't it? Foot race.
In most games, he's not going to have that sort of gap to run into.
No.
You know, it was well taken, but at the same time, you've got to look at the Lions' defence there. That, I don't know how you guys from South Africa think of that in the chat, but really that gap was far too big there. Lack of organisation there, really, from the Lions at that time. So,
Boys in the Terrace singing a beautiful rendition of
and that's the
Laura Lanamore.
That's the bonus point try right in the last minute.
It is no conversion.
So let me just update the scoreboard here. 4 tries, bonus point win. I wasn't confident of it, but I was hopeful of it.
I thought it'd be like a 23-17 to us, something like that. I didn't think it'd be I don't think the score reflects the game really. A couple of quick tries at the end. I think the Lions put up a really good fight. They're a good team.
Exactly. From a Lions point of view, there's plenty of things positive there, but there'll be a lot of things they won't be happy with, because I think if they hadn't made some silly mistakes, they'd have been a lot closer to us, and they'd have stopped us scoring a lot more tries. Some things they made hard for us, but other things then they made very easy for us. But I mean, I'd expect it to go. Oh, and there's another update here from Ashton Gate. Bristol 25, Bath 20. Andrew Warren says, I'm a South African Shark supporter. I am shocked by how poorly our teams are performing. I wouldn't worry about it too much just yet, Andrew Warren. The same we saw with a lot of people thought when the Cheetahs and the Kings came that they would win the competition. A lot of the teams in the old Pro 14 and the USC, they are sort of underrated in that they play a different style of rugby, and if you're not used to it, it's hard to break down. Officials as well, there's always difference in officiating wherever you go in the world. We have that when the Lions went to South Africa, you know what I mean, the British Lions now, and whenever we go to New Zealand or Australia, there's always that difference in the way the referees referee the game, especially at things like scrum time and things like that. I think I think you're going to have to be patient with them. You've got to bear in mind these guys are travelling now on a massive tour. They're not going to be able to see their families for months, for most of the season, in these South African teams. Once they set off, they do a whole tour of all the European teams, and then even now they're saying they're not even going to play their home games at home. They're going to have to play them in Italy. So you've got to factor these things in.
Yeah, you are.
If the Scarlets would have had to have done that, how good would they have played out in South Africa? I would have thought the scoreline would probably be reversed. You know, one thing you will perhaps get surprised about is European rugby has got, like, you know, from England especially, it's got a reputation for being forward oriented, slow, not expansive. You won't find that with this. I speak for the Scarlets. The Scarlets will look to play. In fairness, this season we are trying to temper it down a little bit because sometimes we play too much and we don't do the basics first. But it's a good point there as a Shark supporter, because you've got tomorrow, is it? Yes, you've got Glasgow away tomorrow, the Sharks have, Andrew. And that's going to be a tough one because Glasgow gave Ulster a really good run for their money in Belfast last week. So it's going to be tough for the Sharks up there, but I'd be interested to see how they fare. I didn't see what they did in the first round. Let's have a quick look. How the Sharks did. Oh, they had a bit of a hammering from Munster, didn't they? But Munster at home, these sort of games, this is what you're going to learn, is like, in this league, when you go away, it's tough. It's tough.
It is.
The officials will be against you from minute 1 to minute 80. You won't get the fair rub of the green. The crowds are one-eyed. And I talk about that, us as well, right? Scarlet fans, Park of Scarlets, the Osprey Stadium, wherever you go, you're not going to get the rubber of the green. And it's tough to win away from home. And the majority of the games that the South African sides are going to be playing are all away from home. It's going to be tough for them in this opening season. So have a bit of patience. I think it's a great thing having the South African sides in here. It is a breath of fresh air to the league. But also having teams that have got passionate fans is a big difference. Because we've had, you know, and that's one thing I've noticed is the difference between the four sides that are coming. When we're having watch-alongs or talking on Twitter, the South African fan base are getting behind their teams, which is great to see. That's what you want. And we'll try to repay the favour as well. I'd love to, if there was no restrictions, it would be something I'd love to do to tick the box. I've been to France many a times to watch the Scarlets play. I'd love to go and watch the Scarlets play in South Africa. That would be fantastic. There was someone on Twitter earlier dug out. They tweeted Transvaal versus Llanelli FC from the 70s, and Llanelli FC were in this Adidas kit, this retro kit that I'm wearing. They were in that kit. So those are the sort of games should have been going on years ago, really, when you think about it. There should be not a world league, but there should be a World Club Cup that once every couple of years, the top four in Europe play the top four from the Super Rugby, and they play in a mini tournament over maybe 2 weeks, you know, in the summer or something like that. Or as a warm-up, almost like a charity shield in football, you know what I mean?
That'd be great, that would, yeah.
I'd love it. You've got to beg the question, why hasn't it happened all these years? Why is the rugby seasons between the North and South Hemisphere not aligned properly to help? I mean, you know, we should be seeing sides here now with their full teams, but we're not. We're having a make do watching teams without their internationals, you know, on both sides. Which, when you're asking people to pay for their season tickets, and we're only seeing the full side for maybe 4 or 5 games, you know, it's not good enough. I mean, I think by next week our Lions should be back involved. That's
Hopefully.
my opinion. That's my opinion. So Tommy Rogers there. I'm really looking forward
Looking
to
very
this.
pleased himself.
Yeah, I think he's got that look about him that he's hungry and confident of he feels at home on a rugby pitch at any level. And it's fair, in fairness, he's played 2 internationals now, right? So he should be comfortable now playing as a first team player for the Scarlets. Whereas last season he was only just breaking into that.
Yeah,
towards the end, towards the end of the season before and during the season. So great for the fans to be back as well in Parc Scarlets. It's always a nice sight to see.
Any idea on the figure for the fans?
Well, I heard a figure banded about on Scarlet Fever forum that they reckoned between 8 and 9,000.
Oh, it didn't look that to me.
It didn't look that to me either, to be honest.
I'd say probably about 6.5.
I think it was a healthy 6.5. But I mean, we can't say anything. We've stayed at home, but we've stayed at home for this reason, basically, to keep the streams going and keep the momentum going with these. I hope you all enjoyed it. I mean, it's a relief to. I mean, in fairness, there's one thing for a defence, right? I always look at. If you can keep a side under 15 points in a game, that allows you the ability to win it without being too stressed. If you're allowing teams to score 20, 25 points against you, your defence is not performing as you to get you in positions to win games. You know, in that it's making you have to score 3 and 4 tries to win the game. Whereas we could have won this game with scoring 2 or 3 tries only. I'm grateful that we managed to push home and get the bonus point win, because we had to make up for last week, where it wasn't so much the fact that we lost, it was the fact that Cardiff and Ospreys both had bonus point wins. Now one of them has got to lose this week, and from a Welsh pool point of view, we're hoping the Dragons lose 2 to Leinster at home, which you'd expect them to, really. But at the same time, I don't mind if they were to win. You know, it's good for the league in general. You don't want Leinster running away with it. You do want...
No, I'm sick of seeing it, to be honest.
You actually want as well, right? You want the Dragons. You don't mind them losing. You don't want them picking up points. But you don't want them giving bonus point wins away to your rivals either. That's the key.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. I don't know what else.
It was an enjoyable game.
It was an enjoyable game, to be honest. I'm going to knock this off here now, because I don't need this. I don't know if there was anything else that we were going to cover, really, or what we've got planned for the week coming. We are going to be, now that we're getting this stream into a routine and we've got all the technical things and the software and all the glitches out the way, we're getting more adapted. We're just scheduling streams and going live now. So all the look of the channel is there. We haven't got to do that now, so it's a lot easier that we can just go live whenever. It's just a matter of just making the thumbnail up and scheduling it. So we do want to cover a lot more rugby now than just the Scarlets. So I'm probably going to be live. I was going to go live tomorrow and cover whatever sport was out there, both rugby, football results, and a bit of everything, to be honest. Just like a super sport Saturday, I'm going to go live tomorrow afternoon. Certainly we're going to go live for the Ospreys Cardiff game tomorrow evening, and we might cover, if one or both of us is free, we might cover Dragons v Leinster too.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to leave it there, I think. Now it's a good time, really. So final score, Scarlets 36, Llewod, Lions from South Africa 13. A good plucky performance from the Lions. They've had one win, one loss.
Yes,
and
same as us now.
You know, even when Scarlets are playing badly, it does take, I'm going to blow our own trumpet here. It does take, you've got to be a good side to win the Park of Scarlets. Now, we are slightly an easier prospect away from home, but at Park of Scarlets, normally we've got a good record there that even if there's a team that's better than us, we still raise our game at home.
Yes, we do.
And we're capable of scoring from anywhere on the park with our backs.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, Chris, we're wrapping up there, is it?
Yeah, happy wrapped up there. I just want to say, like, again, credit to the like, I haven't actually seen any of the other sides yet. I've seen highlights, that's about it. But
yeah,
credit to the Lions. I don't think 36-13 reflects the game really. A couple of two breakaway tries against tired legs in the end. Obviously it's nice to see from our point of view, but I think the Lions fronted up. They like I said earlier, they're going to claim a few scalps this season. There's going to be a couple of surprise results, I think. Maybe a couple of victories over Leinster or something like that.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Anything can happen.
This is the problem in that we go away for one of our South African away games the week before the European Cup starts. So we're going to get, but if it means only having to go to Italy, that's a lot easier, right? This is why that could be good for us, because that was a problem. Our away South African game, they couldn't have timed it worse for us. We're having to leg it back home then to play. And what's the first European game we got?
Do you know what? I don't know.
I haven't had a chance to look.
I want to say Bristol away.
I got a feeling it's Bristol away, yeah. Phil Manger would know.
I will have a quick look for us. You've slipped my mind,
That's right. If you want to have a look, Peter, we still can't say his name properly. Stupid as a
Manger.
No,
Phil Manger, sorry.
Blignont. Thanks, guys. Nice game. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow, Springboks beat New Zealand. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Better luck next time, Lions. Yeah, and good luck for the rest of the season, Peter. We wish you all the very best. Very good team, lovely fans too. It's been a pleasure sharing your company in this chat.
Absolutely.
Let's hope we meet again, and one day, never know, we might all meet each other at a game as well. It'll be great next season. I'm already looking and excited for next season to see these South African sides with full teams in Europe as well. That'll be fantastic. So.
Also, Nick, just as we have got Bristol Bears away, our first European game.
Right. And
followed by Bordeaux at home.
Right. So now that traditionally for a first up away game in Europe against English opposition, we normally empty Llanelli.
Yeah, we normally do. Yeah.
If you want to rob anybody's house in Llanelli, that weekend is probably the weekend to do it, because traditionally, I think there's been Harlequins away, there's been London Irish away, Bath away. There's been all these games against English opposition. It just stirs the soul of a Welshman and a Turk, a Llanelli Turk, just that bit more. The songs start coming, and we take over. And the thing is, you only need, say, in a ground of say 10 to 15,000, you only need about 500 Scarlet fans, right? But we normally take a couple of thousand, but you only need a couple of hundred to out-sing, because we've got so many songs. There's no rugby songs that have got as many songs as Llanelli has got, in that you hear them. There's Cardiff will sing the odd Callan Lan and a couple of the basics, but there are songs that we've got that are traditional to our club, and we're the only ones to sing them. We also got, and they have faded away a lot over the years, and I would like to see them come back for players like Tommy Rogers and Cowdo and people like that, is actual players' songs dedicated to players, basically. We used to have songs for Chris Wyatt, Martin Madden, Finau. We used to have chants and songs for the players, basically.
Brilliant. Good old days, pal.
So, yeah, it's all going on here. But Andrew Warren says, and Sharks down 6 Springboks. Yeah, this is it. We're mindful of that. I mean, we're down our British Lions as well. The Scarlets always come a cropper. We suffer the same sort of problem. We suffer more than most in that when it's internationals or the Lions as well, then we normally leave, sometimes we lose the internationals, but we also lose then the boys that would have come in from the academy go to Wales under 21s as well. So we're losing them in 2 different directions from top and bottom. So there's this middle tier of players we get to choose from. That it's tough, especially if you factor in injuries into it then as well. So we know we feel your pain, Andrew Warren, about that. It is what it is. You have to try and manage it throughout the season. It's not great. It's not great for promotion of this league. You want to see the best teams playing the best teams. So something that South African teams, South Africa as a whole, is going to have to address. That if their domestic teams have now gone to the Northern Hemisphere, really, you need South Africa to enter the Six Nations. Don't you? Logically.
Daunting thought, that is.
No, it's not. I think it's an exciting thought. Can you imagine that? I think that'd be fantastic.
Would you kick them out instead of them?
Every year. Every other year.
Would you kick out?
Italy, yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a couple of years now, right?
Because they haven't progressed.
They showed a little glimpse of getting better, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm half Italian, and I'm saying, I am saying that, in that Italy, I think the best thing for them, I mean, they're not as good as like Georgia and teams like this that are on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Something needs to be done one way or the other. You either give them some, I mean, you can't be seen to like try and invest in them and falsely bring them up. They've got to do it through their own means, because then you're making a false league then otherwise. But they do need help, and maybe like I don't know what the answer is, but I would like to see either go to a 7 Nations, or you go that you create a second tier and you have Georgia, Spain, Holland, Germany, and all these other second tier, and you have maybe a promotion relegation.
I completely agree. Imagine, a couple of times Wales have finished bottom of the Six Nations, right? We had dire seasons.
Yeah.
Imagine that happening if it's promotion relegation, and we end up playing teams like Spain, Portugal.
I think that would be. I'd get excited about watching Wales again, because I've discussed this at length before.
Yeah.
Even when Wales have won Grand Slams and come close to winning the World Cup, while I'm watching the game, I'm quite excited. But to be honest, I leave the game and I'm not upset. And I wanted them to win, but I'm far more emotional wanting and hurt if
I'm the same.
Scarlets, if Leslie lose, or Liverpool in football. I'm far more hurt about that, watching them lose, than what I ever am with Wales.
I'm the same.
And I lay that fault at Wales's door, in that I used to support them with a passion, but they've become something I don't identify with as a rugby team so much anymore. The whole setup, I think they tailor their match day tailors to the how should I put it? The
plastic,
the event goers. They don't tailor
the drinkers.
They don't
tailor
a match day atmosphere to a rugby fan's out there. When you look at the crowd in the Millennium Stadium, half of them can't see bread, let alone a bread of heaven, right?
I know.
And I don't mind having a drink at a
Isn't it?
game, but they're clearly clueless on what they're watching in front of them. You know, a lot of them. They're there with their daffodil hats. It just doesn't. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's become this thing of there's that sort of fan. A lot of people, they don't go to games, they don't watch rugby apart from when Wales play. That's the issue. You know?
Yes.
And then people who do watch it and are quite knowledgeable on the game, I've got to sit next to them and listen to them. And it's hard, you know? Some might say the same about listening to me on here, but anyway, on that note, well, listen, stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please drop a subscribe and click the bell so that whenever we do go live, because we're going to go live probably again this weekend for some other content. We perhaps midweek we'll do a little analysis perhaps, or look ahead to our next games and things like that. We've got a few
Absolutely.
things. And also we've got the news that we're hoping to plan soon for an interview with Di Hodges. He has got back to us yet last night, within the minute. Chris messaged him and there was a message back straight away in that how he was humbled that we thought of him. And we expressed in the message that he, obviously he has got like a cult status within Scarlet fans' hearts of that they remember fondly his performances. And if you are watching now, Di, if you are tuning in to see what you're letting yourself in for, it probably isn't, but it is genuine. It's and we thought it would be a good one to get off, because we remember the way he handled himself and conducted himself off the field as well.
Absolutely.
With fans, with the media, and he's a very humble guy. So I think it would be a great one, because I think it'll get the fans' juices going, the opportunity to see him again and hear from him again and interact with him live, because it's going to be live, so everybody in the chat can talk to him and put questions forward. They will be a little bit moderated, and we're hoping to get Amber on board there, just sifting through the questions so that we're not asking the same question a couple of times, you know what I mean? Because inevitably that will happen. We'll have to come up with a system for it, that we read out the questions to him and discuss things, but we have our own questions that we're going to be asking him, that we're going to send to him in advance so that he knows the sort of things we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering a lot about, obviously, things we didn't know about him as Scarlet fans, from before he became a Scarlet. What, the path to becoming a Scarlet, how did it happen, and things like that. I'm intrigued about it, so I'm going to be asking those sorts of questions. And Chris has got a few questions as well. But it's going to go then, it's going to take its own flow probably. That's the sort of format we're hoping to strike with him. It's going to be one of my proudest moments as a Scarlet fan. I'm proud to be able to do this channel, and the channel is becoming a success gradually. But I think this will set us into a whole new stratosphere. And I would like to make this like a regular segment of the channel for one a month or something like that, as a special thing. So yeah, right, I think we'll call it a day there. It's 5 to 10. I'm sure everybody wants to go.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add as well. So guys, anybody who's still in here, head over to Twitter if you use it. Drop a follow to us over there as well. It's at Scarlet_Fever TV.
Yeah.
Because we will be posting a lot of stuff there as well, particularly about the David Hodges interview, a lot of other stuff as well. maybe some competitions coming up, Nick, right?
Definitely.
Which you can get the inside scoop on over there. So definitely drop us a follow there as well.
I can never work his camera. It's behind me here. If you've got this book at home, then you need to dust it down, because there's going to be a few questions, and they're probably going to be from those books I've got behind. I've got 2 books there. One's History of Scarlets, the other one's Stradi Stories. We're probably going to be doing a bit of research as well. A couple of awkward ones. I know a few that are little ones that we used to use in the pubs now and again, all sat around testing our knowledge of the Scarlets gone by. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to end this poll now. And the majority got it wrong. No, actually, no.
Majority got it right.
23. The majority got it right, actually. So it was 21 plus. So the majority got it right. Well done to them. So I've ended that now and I can't see it again.
70% of you said nothing but a Scarlets win regardless of score.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Oh, it's come through now. Yeah.
There you go. 30
votes, which is a nice little turnout because that's the first poll we've tried on a match day. Thank you for that. Yeah, so 36% of you and 36%. That was the most, and that was the majority, and you were right. A good turnout for the Lions there, though. That came in and wanted the Lions to win. It's always good to see healthy competition, both in the poll and in the game. In the chat and in the game. Robert Hayes has said, well done, lads. Well done, lads. Very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the next match. Oh, thank you, Robert Hayes. Whereabouts you watching from, Robert? Just because that's a new name on me, I think, isn't it? But because I'm always interested in where people are watching from. Because obviously one of the reasons we did stream tonight, even though there was a home game, we appreciate that there's a lot of people can't make it to home games. So, well, they're testing us with these names now, aren't they? There's Gerard.
Oh, Gerard Niebuhr.
Lions will do better next game. I'm a Lions supporter. All the best for the rest of the season, Gerard. We look forward to seeing you again in year one day, perhaps. I know you South African guys have got some good up and coming content creators, much like ourselves, in 2 Cents Rugby and the Rugby Guru. I've been in contact with them, and when the time is right, we're looking to maybe do something together, even if it's just a quick interview, like a pre-match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before, probably I'd want to do it before Scarlets play. It's probably not going to be away in South Africa, but when we're playing a South African side in the away game, we'll probably look to tie up with them and have them in on the channel with us via a Zoom call to have a chat about what they feel, how the South African sides are doing by then, and where they feel they can improve. And because it is all gearing up for the South African sides to be entered into Europe next season, so there's no time to get down about anything that's happening. You've got a front up. I'm lying. That's right. I'm lying forward. And Robert A says, Whisker outside Newport. So are you a Scarlet fan, Robert, or are you a Dragons fan? Or are you a Newport fan?
Did you have one eye on the game and one eye in a car, Robert?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'm joking.
We can take the high ground when it comes to car theft because we don't live in Swansea.
No, I got a lot of friends up in Newport. It's in its own little way, it's a lovely little place.
I do know 1 or 2 Scarlet fans that are from Newport area. Not sure whereabouts. Gerard's the spirit, Gerard. Yes, in South Africa. Well, this is what we're wondering now. There is news at the moment that the away games are not going to be played in South Africa, perhaps. I'm hoping they are.
For authenticity,
but
you know.
The one, if there's one going to be transferred to Italy, it'll be that one where the Scarlets play in Europe the following week. And we'd rather not have to fly out to South Africa and then fly back for the opening European game. But if we've got to do it, we've got to do it. But yes, in general though, I mean, I had fond memories of watching the Scarlets play the Cheetahs and the Kings away, where we had a shortage of scrum halves, and we actually had to sign on loan the scrum half that's the brother of the Springbok. What's his name now? Yankees, is it?
Yankees, Clay. Balls, what's his name?
Herschel Yankees. And he played for the Scarlets. And he played, did he come on? I think he came on. He was on the bench when he was bench cover. We had to drag Mike Phillips out of retirement just to turn up for the Scarlets. Because he was living in Dubai. It was fantastic. And I think did we win that game? We won one, and then we lost the second one, I think. But they were both great games, both in lovely sunshine, and that's how the Scarlets like to play. I think the Scarlets were born in the wrong country, to be honest. We should have been born in the south of France, the Scarlets, the way we play. We should have been born in south of France or South Africa or somewhere. But anyway, it's been marvellous having you all in here, guys. Janet says, don't write off South African teams yet. We're not. Gerard, we're not. We know.
We know what the threat you guys pose, and we're looking forward to...
guts, and you don't give up easily. You always come back tough. You saw it with the British Lions, where the Lions won the first game. South Africa came back, after a controversial video. Maybe this could be the controversial video. Where Razzie, I won't be doing a Razzie Erasmus, no, I'm not going to go through everything that I didn't agree with. But no, it's been fantastic having you all in here, guys. Thank you very much. Pop a subscription and a click on the bell, so when we go live in future, you'll see it. Share it with your friends as well, because we want to get the word out there. And I'm really pleased to see a healthy fan base in South Africa that's active as well, and that is up for coming into other fans' channels and swapping stories and opinions, because that's what the game's about, isn't it? It's about fans, and it's about opinions, and it's about enjoying each other's company. So quality wing. And Robert A says he's a Scarlet fan. My great uncle was a trustee of Clerkley RFC. Wow. Well, fair play. I always fascinated about these stories of people that are not from the area but have through some link, and that is why we've called the channel what we called it, through Scarlet Fever, where there are some people, they're not Scarlet fans, they're not from the area, they encounter a game, and from that day on they're hooked and they catch Scarlet Fever, and that's why we call it Scarlet Fever. It's perfect description of that emotion that goes on with many Scarlet fans that are not from Clerkley, they're not even from West Wales. There's some that are not even from Wales or Britain. There's a couple from Italy that he can't speak English. He's from Italy. He's got no ties to the area whatsoever, but he's on Scarlet Fever, posting more than what I do. Mr. Ian, his name is, on Scarlet Fever, if you want to check it out. But anyway, right.
Infectious.
It is infectious. And you know what, boys? Scarlet Fever, there is no cure. There is no cure.
Zero.
Once you've caught it,
zero cure.
And I'm glad to be of service. It's been a pleasure, because it is for the club, man, isn't it? Yeah, let's be fair.
It is for the club.
Gerard said the Box gave him a scare last week. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because the Box will have smelt that they're confident. Yeah, they're going to smell blood there. They want to sort of give him a bloody nose. Yeah. No, they do it. That's the mindset of South Africa, and I like it. I like that mindset. I was talking about mindsets and psychology before the season started, during the friendlies, and I was saying that there's a saying in Wales and in the media that a lot of people say, where they say sort of like, if we can get parity up front, is a throwaway comment that they use in the media in Wales. And I don't like it, because I've said in the past, do you think New Zealand and South African sides and French sides are going into games thinking, if we can just get parity up front? Rubbish. They're looking to dominate.
They went in the bath at each other.
They're looking to destroy you. And then if they come off 50-50, well, so be it. But they go in looking to totally dominate you, and that's where our mindset is wrong. We should be looking to destroy. That's the mindset. Scott Quinnell had a famous quote on Sky when he was doing that channel with the kids. And there was a kid there, he was trying to train him to play rugby, and he just didn't have the heart. He was scared going into contact. And Scott Quinnell goes on him, and he says, listen, he says, the rugby pitch is the only place where it's acceptable to be a bully. And that's true. In that, if you go on there hoping to just like, oh, well, as long as he doesn't push me backwards, we should be okay. You can't go on a rugby field with that mentality. You should be involved in the game if you've got that mentality. You know what I mean?
No.
And it's worrying that players, coaches and media in Wales come out with that sometimes. You know, in that they're just looking to get parity up front. It's like, go away from me. Get out of my club. If you're talking like that, get out of my club. Amen to that, Amber says. See, Amber we need in there.
Amber pretending she knows what's going on, yeah. I'm only joking. Bales 9 Iron. This channel has potential to be like Arsenal Fan TV, but Scarlets.
Well, Bales 9 Iron has hit the nail well and truly on the head. We have spotted what, and it's not just Arsenal Fan TV. I have been watching for the last 2 years, because I am a football fan as well. I've watched Arsenal Fan TV. I watched Redmen TV. I watched the United Stand. And I'm a Liverpool fan, but I watch the United stuff as well because I'm more interested in the content they create. Right? I also watch the Anfield Wrap. I watch them all. And I've taken little bits from them all of what I envisage. And what I spotted was nobody is doing that in rugby. And the standard of reporting and media in rugby, whether it's through the broadcasters or through the newspapers, especially in Wales, leaves a lot to be desired. And what's happened in football with those channels is those channels have got so big now, they are outdoing the main media for football. Okay? So much so, the TalkSport radio, whenever they get the chance, badmouth those channels. They even get those people on TalkSport radio, people like Rugby from Arsenal Fan TV, they take them into the studio, telling them there's going to be a line of questioning, and then have a snipe at them broadside when they had no warning, which says it all really. They're scared because these channels are getting big reviews. And obviously they're supporting big teams with big fan bases, so they are going to be bigger. But I spotted that Scarlet fans were the right sort of fan base, not so much in numbers, but in their passion and how deep they think about the team and the game. Okay, and I just knew a fan channel would work for us, and I thought, well, if I don't do it, someone else will. And also, nobody really is doing it in rugby at all, so there was a wide open field for us to sort of not just do about the Scarlets, but do general rugby as well. There's a couple of comments in here. So yes, Bales 9 Iron, this channel has potential to be like Arsenal Fan TV, but the Scarlets, that's more or less what we're going for. But the one thing I wouldn't like to do is I want to interview fans, but I don't want to be the shotgun or and the
controversy.
The controversy where they do tend to make their fans look a bit silly sometimes, in my opinion. And I wouldn't like to have that element on Scarlet Fan TV. I want to interview fans, and I want this to be a platform for fans to give their opinions. But I also want some respect for our fans and opposition fans. And we'll have a bit of banter with the Ospreys fans if they come in here, but at the same time, I would never want them to feel, that they, anything's personal.
Humiliated.
This is it. And that it's all friendly, So right, okay. I'm just trying to catch up.
I just want to add, Nick. You said you enjoy watching United Stand and the Man United one.
Yeah.
Gonna throw a little dig your way, pal. Sorry, it's because of the club you support, but we all know Liverpool fans are obsessed with United.
No, it's not.
I'm joking.
No, I watch it.
All the ones I know
don't get me wrong, it is entertaining when Mark Goldbridge is losing his head. But everybody, I'm not the only one, even United fans, Arsenal fans, those clips are gold, right? When he's waiting for Phil Jones to take that penalty, and Phil Jones has got pink boots on, and he misses the penalty, and Mark Goldbridge goes, "It's the pink boots!" It's just gold TV. It is, you're watching it like this through the corners of your fingers, right? You're like, oh, I can't believe it, but you can't look away. He's marvellous at what he does, Mark Goldbridge, right? I would love to be him one day if I ever. He is the pinnacle. He's. People say Robbie's the godfather. He is in a way, but Mark Goldbridge has done a lot of things that even Arsenal Fan TV have taken on and done for themselves. The thing of live streaming a watch-along, that was Mark Goldbridge's idea that we've taken here. You know what I mean? And just get back to the comments because there's still people in here. We did say we're going to go, but being as there's people in here chatting, we will stay a little bit longer while there's chat. So Gerard says the Box need to get Chesley and Colby to start playing again. Well, I mean, I tend not to watch too much. I'm not familiar with like all players of South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, because I'm not into watching Wales internationally. I don't watch enough international rugby. But that's going to change now. Obviously, we're doing the channel and we're going to be covering the internationals. So I'm going to have to brush up on, and I probably will watch that game tomorrow. I won't stream it because I know 2 Cents Rugby and Rugby Guru are going to be streaming it. So I'll leave them do them. Yeah, you do you do boo, right? But it's that's their field. So I don't see what are you laughing for.
Your words dribble out your mouth, and it's funny. That was funny.
It's live TV, innit? It's live TV.
Live TV. It'll be in the blooper reel somewhere.
Bales Ian says, we'll get to the end of this chat in a minute. Now, by the time I get to the end of this chat, there's going to be more chat in here. We're never going to end away. But you're like, 11:30 now. Bales Ian says, exactly, would love to see it. Freddie Clark says, in England, BT Sport are really good. I could not agree more. I absolutely adore BT Sport. There's only, I think, one thing I don't like, and this might surprise you because I am a Liverpool fan and I'm quite passionate about Liverpool. I love football in general as well. In that I can't stand Steve McManaman as a commentator. He does my head in. He's just not. It may be just my ears that he irritates. And it's not the accent, because I love the Scouse accent, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the Scouse accent, it's not about that. It's just his retorts are very samey. Where he'll say, what is he doing there? What is he doing? What's the keeper doing? All the time. He says it every game. Even if the keeper's just standing there waiting for the whistle to go. What's the keeper doing there? And I'll go all the time. That's only a minor thing. I love watching the whole setup. I think they got Sarah Elgin in there, which is Simon Easterly's wife, obviously. There's so much that BT Sport do right. And you know what? You do sense it as well, and this is where BBC and SOC could take a leaf, and learn a lot. In that, as a fan, when you go to the ground and the game is being screened by Sky or BT, the atmosphere in that ground is totally different. When the game is being screened by BBC and SOC, it's had zero marketing thrown at it all week, right? Whereas Sky will put posters up all around the area on the billboards, right? They will have vans parading with big billboards on. They put adverts on the TV showing your team, promoting their product that they've paid to screen. The BBC and SOC have paid to promote this product. It's at their own interest that they throw some marketing at it, and there's none. They barely had 2 cameras up in Edinburgh last week, right? Because when there was a punch on Scott Williams in that second half, they only had 1 camera angle, right? It's disgusting. It's not good enough. That's where they need to improve. So yes, that was on the thing. Bales 9 iron, yes, Don Robbie, up the Gunners. Gunners. But no, yeah, I mean, in fairness, that's another one. I enjoy watching Arsenal Fan TV purely because, right, no Ty and rest in peace, Claude. Their banter reminded me so much of when I used to go to away games with, and he's in the chat sometimes here, a good friend of mine is Jason Palmer, Salmidach. When I watched Ty and Claude arguing, that was me and Jace Palmer. And I remember I used to argue saying Gareth Bowen just needs time, or Mike Kirkus just needs a bit more time. Right?
He could be playing now, Mike Kirkus.
He's got to go. Right? That was exactly what we'd be like on the coach, right? And you know, we used to argue all the way up and all the way down, but we sit together every game. You know what I mean? I'm dreading getting him on. He wants to come on, and we're going to bring Jace on as a third, maybe for like post-match reactions and stuff like that. Once he's available, he's got a busy job at the moment, an important job, so we understand that he's not always available, but we can't wait to get him involved because he's a class act, Jace, in that he got people up the wrong way. He's got some opinions that sometimes you don't agree with, but he's passionate. He's passionate about the Scarlets, and it's because he wants us to do well, and he doesn't like us seeing us be not as good as we should be, you know. So let's get back a couple of more comments just to read out quickly. From Zaska, going to sleep now. Thanks for the commentary, guys. Let's see what the Lions will do next week. Definitely, now that we've come into contact with them and we've been familiarised with their fans and their players, a little bit of them, then we sort of keep an eye on. So we just like when we played Leicester in the friendly for a couple of weeks, you like to see how they're doing because it gives you a good gauge as to when we have to play the next team you play. We can gauge, you know, did you beat them? So if you, let's for instance say you're going to play like Connacht next or someone and you beat them, and then we're playing Connacht soon, it gives us a good insight into what to expect from Connacht, really. And everybody's trying to gauge where everybody lies here at the moment, because a lot of these South Africans, we're playing with them for the first time. So it's fantastic. Have a good night's sleep, Gerard, and take care. Jeslyn plays also for Munster. Right, okay. Well, we'll be...
No, he plays for
Ulster.
Cheslin Colby plays for Toulon now, doesn't he? He was with Toulouse,
right.
but I'm pretty sure he's with Toulon right now.
There's been a lot of
I don't know.
Throw-in, so it's hard to catch up. I'm gutted, really.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic signing for Ulster, but Dwayne Vermeulen, I would like to have seen him. Is it the Bulls he was with? And Bales 99 says Toulouse for Cheslin Colby. You know, there's some serious French money involved, isn't there? But the South African sides, they're in a similar position to the Welsh sides. We're the same, and it's up to the union to be able to bring in a ruling. And the way the Welsh teams have gone around it and defended themselves against the money coming in from France is the WIU. They've made it so that it's not worth these French teams buying any of our international players to play abroad because they don't get them for enough of the season. Now, adversely, that is a problem then when they come home. We don't get them for the rest of the season either, but at least they do play for Welsh sides for a little while. It's a fine balance to get right, and it's not all the Welsh Rugby Union's fault. There's got to be something done to get more money into the game, to make the game more attractive to private investment, both at international level and at club level, at domestic level, and at domestic league level as well. I mean, how many times has us as Welsh teams been in a league where there's no sponsor? It's probably, in the last 10 years, I've seen it happen at least 2 or 3 times. And it's happening now. And brand new league, there's no sponsor. It's ridiculous, you know? And I know there's, all right, okay, I'll give you this one. There's a pandemic. But if there's not a sponsor in place for next season, then something's wrong, you know. And the Welsh Rugby Union were the same with the old Welsh League. That was the reason why those clubs withered and died. It's because the structure of the league wasn't put there that, you know, the English clubs are in charge of their own destiny. The Welsh clubs are not. If the WRU can't provide a sponsor for the Welsh leagues, then hand that initiative to the clubs to be able to do it for themselves, you know. So gonna get to the last chat. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna reach the last chat. Chris wants to pee, by the looks of it. I don't know.
No, I'm
no, you're right. You're all right. It's just the way you look at it. Just, yeah. You just looked as
I'm
if you
just
needed
listening.
You looked down when I said there was a few more chats. I don't know.
I'm just listening on you.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Bears 9 Iron says, "Our atmosphere is the best in Welsh rugby so far." Is he a Scarlet fan?
In rugby, by far, he said. I completely agree with you, pal.
Right. Okay.
He is a Scarlets fan because he's saying our. I'm assuming, unless he's talking about the...
Yeah, well, no, when he said
some of the club.
I was like, all right, who's he talking about? I presume he's a Scarlet fan. Well, it is a bit muddling. Obviously, Bears Iron, sorry for the confusion, but we've got a lot of fans in here from different clubs as well, so I just wanted to make sure who you were talking about, that's all.
Maybe he's a Neath fan.
You know, in my mind, right, when it comes to fans, I think Clermont fans are up there, right, for numbers and passion. Munster fans are up there through pure numbers. But Scarlets, pound for pound, 1 for 1, you won't get better. And I know that's biased, I know I'm a Scarlet nut, right? But there's a reason for it. There is a reason for it. Go to an away game in England and watch what 1,000 Scarlet fans will do to a whole stadium.
Oh, we get it rocking.
You won't hear them. There's footage of it on YouTube. There's a few videos documenting it. So, Freddie Clark says, good luck for the season, Tigers fan. Yeah, same to you, Freddie. Nice to have you in here, mate. And feel free to pop in anytime and update us on how the Tigers are doing, because it's always good to see. There's a special relationship, I feel, with Cletty and Leicester. From down the years in the amateur days, and also Bath as well. When you look at the old clubs like Cletty, Cardiff, Bath, Leicester, even Wasps, you know what I mean? Those old traditional names. I do like to see good relationships upheld. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Of course I am, but Dad and Uncle used to play for them. I'm from Llanelli.
Ah, right. Who was your dad then? That's interesting.
And your uncle. Who are these people?
Hey, if your dad was Schleswig, now tell him to get onto Zoom because we want to do an interview with him.
I'm waiting for him to come out here, you know, with I don't know, who could it be? Dad and Uncle.
It's not. It's one of the Cornells, is it?
Ubia?
I'm trying to think.
I'm interested now to see who this is.
It's going to be someone. Yeah, it could be Bubia. Back in the 80s, played in the youth. Ah, right, okay. Trying to think.
I have no idea.
Oh, they would have played in this kit then. They'd have played in this beautiful Adidas kit. Wonderful. Right. I think we have got to go now. 20.
Yeah.
Half an hour ago I said we're going to wrap it up, which is great because it's flowed, you know, the chat. That's part of it, is engaging.
It is. It's all enjoyable stuff.
I won't call them fans because they're not our fans. They're...
Simon and Roger Edmonds. I'm Edmonds as well. I wonder if there's any relation here, but who knows?
You have an off-air chinwag.
An off-air chinwag, yeah, I'm just going to say the same thing.
Oh, you could do it live if you want, I don't mind.
You could do it online these days, pal.
Things, you might uncover a few skeletons in the family tree, you know. Do you remember that happened to, what's his name, Griff Rhys Jones, is it? Do you remember that?
Oh, I haven't got a clue, mate.
He
No.
went searching for a family member that he had been told was falsely accused of murder.
All right, okay.
And turns out this guy was an animal.
Oh, really?
Everybody he traced back, he goes, yeah, we remember your dad. Oh, nightmare. He was like,
No way.
Honestly, and they were documenting it as well. Like, he was just sat there with a camera in his face, being told that this long lost relative that he'd held in his heart for years and that was wrongly convicted was an absolute danger to society, and they were all surprised that it only took him that long to murder somebody. Sorry. But I found the funny side.
Oh, that's funny. It's funny. I like things, yeah.
I know, I do. I love cringe TV. That's why I like the fan channels. You know when things go cringe, but they don't mind. They know it's cringe and they'll follow it through. Like, that's what Mark Obridge is a master at. There's one where he's drunk in his kitchen and he's doing a live stream and he's playing Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's dancing to it. And he's doing the old, I'll do a bit of, I'm tethered here with 2 earphones, right? But
I don't
so I can't get up and do the dance, right? But he's just basically, what's the one with the cowboy rope where they pull the rope in, I guess, yeah? He's doing that in his kitchen while doing like a moonwalk backwards. I honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever seen. And this is why
I do enjoy stuff like that.
So many people who still watch mainstream entertainment, and it's like, I never watch TV anymore. Everything I watch is on YouTube. It's much better, you know.
Same here.
And it's free. Right, so I think that's it. That's the end of the chats. Viewers are going down now. We've done 3.5 hours. I need a drink of water.
Crushed it once again.
Oh, they're coming back in with more comments now. You might know my nan. She actually used to be Mayor of Llanelli, Pamela Edmonds.
No, I haven't got a clue who that is. I know there is an Edmonds family in Llanelli, but mine actually comes from Gysainen.
Right.
So I don't know. Like,
was Mayoress of Llanelli. But I don't think it's the same one.
who knows?
Well, she was actually the mayor. Because she was the first female mayor. Because they used to call the mayoress the wife of the mayor. It's very much like, you know, like the president of the United States and you got the first lady. Well, there's this thing, isn't there, waiting to happen, in that if they have their first female president, we're going to have our first male first lady.
We'll have to speak about to die or jizz about this, pal, presidential stuff.
No, then. No, and someone said in the chat, someone said in the messages we were discussing it when we said to our Scarlets WhatsApp group today about it, that they remember fondly that his wife is a scream.
And her name.
She's a good laugh. A very good, quick-witted person. So that they're on about, like, it would be good to get her involved in the stream with them.
Maybe, we'll do that.
Because she would have spent her time in Llanelli, you know. And,
I'll be honest, there's a couple of old photos on his Facebook page where I reached out to him actually, and there's a few there of his wife, you know,
right,
in kit and stuff, and having photos of him after the game and that kind of thing. So it's nice to see. Like, she was heavily involved. She backed him all the way, and you know,
outside Met
him. Outside the Met,
celebrating a Scarlet win with the fans.
Having a fag at the back of the cat,
Kilkenny cat, yeah. Them were the days, boys. Them were the days.
On that bombshell, I think, mate, the Kilkenny bloody cat.
There's a fascinating story about the Kilkenny cat and Leinster fans, but I'll save that for the Leinster game. If you want to hear that story, that's a good story. I'll unveil that story. Some of you Scarlet fans might know it already, but there's a fascinating tale about Leinster fans and Llanelli and the Kilkenny cat. I'll save that for the Leinster game. Because we're probably going to be struggling to find things to comment in on, because Leinster away tends to be tough. Right, we are actually going to leave it there now because the chat has dried up. So thank you all for coming in, and thank you, Chris. It's been a pleasure. So we should
Enjoyed it as always, pal.
We'll be live tomorrow, probably, anyway.
Yeah.
See you next game. Oh, yeah, don't worry. Remind me, if I've forgotten during the Leinster game, remind me about the story about the Leinster fans in the Kilkenny Cat, and I shall... It's quite a short one, but it's a good one. It's a nice one. Jack Smith, hi, boys. Just got home from work. No, we've been here
Hope you
all
had a
this
good
time.
shift, pal.
Oh, you've just
Hope you had a good shift, mate.
Did you manage to catch any of the game, Jack? We were
we won't spoil it if you are. He's watching now, look.
Oh, you're watching it now, right? Well, we were
I just scoreboard, Nick.
I just scoreboard. Hang on.
Leave it there. I don't know.
It's too late. Hang on a sec. Hey, what? I made the scoreboard. Hey, the scoreboard's gone. Hey, no, there was no game. No game here to see. Yeah, we were actually just about to set off, but we will be back on live tomorrow evening. I'm going to be live probably on my own to cover like general Saturday sport, but we're definitely going to cover the Ospreys Cardiff game because we didn't have anybody say that they didn't want us to cover it. And you never know, I presume we're all going to be supporting Cardiff for that game.
Of course we are, mate.
Right?
That's been presumed.
So we have got vested interest in it, in that, you know what I mean? We can...
I'll have a blue shirt on tomorrow, that's for sure.
We will have to maybe change the logo. We'll change the logo to...
No, we won't, because that's what we are.
Under the Cardiff thing, but we'll just change
we are Scarlet Fever TV, mate.
Yeah.
It's our page.
We'll let them have their names on our scoreboard.
There we are.
Okay? Plastics versus Checkbook Charlies from the city. Okay? I'm joking. We'll put... what is it now for Welsh for Ospreys?
Gweilch.
Gweilch. Gweilch v Caerdydd. We'll have.
There we are.
Okay?
That settles it.
That settles it. I'm looking forward to it because it'll be our first neutral game. That will be...
Yeah.
So it'll be quite nice actually in that I won't be sort of like distracted by the game of being tense about watching the Scarlets and to win. And I can just sit back, enjoy and have a bit of a chat with the chat room as well, you know, and wind up any of the opposition fans. Gently,
there we are.
Gently, friendly.
It'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Well, boys, we'll leave it there. I'm going to end the stream now. So take care. I can't remember if we properly did this thanks end screen. I'm going to try it.
Yes,
it might
I believe
go wrong.
we did.
It might go, I'll swap it quickly to the intro screen instead. But it's all well planned, isn't it? Huh? Right, I shall
Job's worth.
Catch you all later. Take care, guys. Thanks for
Take it easy, guys.
Ta-ra. Da bochi.
I'm line.